Welcome, welcome, crew, guys, gals, ghouls, friends, fiends, foes, whoever may be listening beyond the omniverse tonight. Let's climb aboard the mothership, secure our tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. I'm your hostess, TessaTNT, broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. It is an honor, a pleasure, and privilege to be hanging out with you tonight. I'm so glad you're here. If you want to listen in your free time, whether you're working it, or working out, make sure you tune in to Spreaker.com under We Are Paradox Media, or basically wherever you listen to your podcasts. So let's get into this. What do you guys think about the new intro music? I wasn't sure about it, but man, I've spent days looking through so many songs and stuff, and I can't quite find what I want, but that was pretty darn close. When I heard it, I was like, yeah, let's do that one, because it just sounded fun and spooky, and I kind of felt like it covered the bases. All right, so tonight we're doing Trippy TikToks with me, TessaTNT, and we are going to be getting into that right about now. And also, if you have any TikToks or videos or ghost stories or abduction stories or anything like that you want to share with me, be sure to send it to me at weareparadoxmedia@gmail.com, and we will definitely use it. I will. I keep saying we, like I have a turd in my pocket or something. All right, let's go. Let's get it.
In fact, they were the first to end it. Yet somehow, white people didn't invent slavery. In fact, they were the first to end it. Yet somehow, saying this is controversial. Watch what happens when someone says it out loud.
The reason there is no slavery in the world today, I mean, there's a lot of slavery in the world today, but in the parts of the world where there's no slavery, is because the British Empire ended it. That's why there is no slavery. That is...
So,
well,
look,
the fact that you are uneducated about history doesn't mean it's funny. So let me educate you now. Let me educate you now. I know that the woke narrative and the anti-Western narrative on slavery... Oh, you're not practicing free speech very well, are you? You're not practicing free speech very well, are you? The moment I say something you don't like, you're not practicing free speech very well, are you, sir?
Let's be clear. Slavery is evil, but it's an ancient human evil practiced by everyone to everyone. 4 years ago, I went to Ghana. I stood in a slave dungeon where people who looked like me sold people who looked like me to white people. But long before Europeans began the transatlantic slave trade, there was a trans-Saharan slave trade. For over 1,000 years, brown Arab slavers sold millions of black Africans across the Sahara. Then came the Barbary slave trade. In North Africa, Arab and African raiders captured and sold over 1 million white Christian Europeans. China, Korea, Japan, India, every one of them practiced slavery. Europeans did take slavery to another scale when they came to Africa, but it's not because they were more evil. It's because they had the technology to commit evil on an industrial scale. So, which major power stopped slavery first? The British, in large part because of pro-human Christian values. The same values America was founded on. The same values that drove white Americans to fight other white Americans to free black Americans in the Civil War. Values missing in places like Libya, where today you can buy a human being for $400. White people aren't better than anyone else, but they're also not worse. Yet, some black people are taught to hate white people, and many white people are taught to hate themselves. We keep pretending evil has a color, as if less melanin means less morality. That lie makes us ignore history and fuels racial hatred. Right now, much of that hatred is aimed at white people. But why should black or brown people care? Because hatred is a hot coal that we hold in our hand, waiting to throw at another. It burns them, but it burns us too. It turns every problem into white supremacy while defending black degeneracy. And when the pendulum swings back, white people react with hostility, and then they defend white degeneracy. The only way out of this is to stop making morality about the color of people. Because in our capacity for good and evil, we are all equals. If you're tired of lies about history, subscribe to my Substack. I cover the stories the mainstream media won't touch. I cut through media bias and teach you how to do it too. The link is in my bio, so drop your email and get exclusive videos I can't post anywhere else.
What's that? Oh, scientists have proven that humans can only see 4% of what's in front of them? Tell me more. Scientists have proven that humans can only see 4% of what's in front of them, meaning we're not seeing practically anything that is really there. This is why if you take a Tesla, for example, down to a cemetery and you turn on the biometric camera, you're going to see human beings walking around, all around, but yet you don't see them with your naked eye, but you'll see them on the biometric camera. Oh, I love that. This is why the contacts that they recently made that can see in the dark are seeing certain figures that you can't see with the naked eye. So it's so fun. There have been many inventions in the past that they haven't been able to release because of this issue. And not to mention in the 60s when they had the issue with the goggles in the war and they were seeing certain figures and they were shooting at them, but they weren't really there apparently. Okay. What's that? Oh, science.
A cave? Is it a sinkhole? Is it some kind of secret portal to the center of the earth? Well, I went to go find out.
Pretty brave.
Okay, it's right over here somewhere. Going to continue on by foot for the last 100 yards or so. So as I'm driving out to this place, I am all alone. Oh, I can see it right there. There's no other cars, there's nobody else around.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like a sinkhole or something like that. And I'm walking up to this big cave or sinkhole or something. And I see something in the bottom of this pit. Whoa. Whoa.
Really? What? What the heck?
And I think, what is somebody doing down there? And so I started to get a little freaked out. You know, I'm looking around for somebody's car. Or is somebody living down there and they heard me coming up, so they're like standing there trying to freak me out. I don't know what's going on, but I know that they're way down there and I'm way up here. So even if they did try to come up and, you know, and get me or something, I would still be able to get to my car in time and just get out of there, you know. That's creepy. So I was just still trying to figure it out. Plus I was thinking, like, is this like a piece of wood that looks like a person? Hello? The cave? Is it a sinkhole? Is it some kind of secret portal to the center of the earth?
I kind of want to go to his page and see what part 2 is. I want to see what happens. But if you want to too, it's Alexandragon. Pretty cool. I'm gonna have to subscribe because I want to see more. Go ahead and check it out. What do you think? Hopefully it'll cooperate with us. There's the sinkhole. Okay, so this one, I believe. Option.
What is that thing? Is this like a rock that looks like a person or something? I don't know what I'm thinking, to be honest. And so I'm just standing at this edge trying to figure out what is this thing and is it moving? Man, that is just really... Seeing that thing down there? I thought it was just somebody standing there. Like I just come up to this ledge, I'm the only one out here, and I see this like figure down there standing. It's kind of freaky, to be honest. I'm like looking around for a car or something, or... Oh my gosh. What in the world? Should I go down there? So after looking at this thing for like a good 5 minutes, I have the idea to go down a little bit farther in this sinkhole or this cave or whatever it is and get a better picture of it. Ah, I forgot. I have my drone here, so I'm going to fly my drone down there. I'm not going to lie, that got my heart pumping really fast when I first saw that. Oh man, that's crazy. But I'm going to try to get a little bit closer because there's like this trail right here, so I'm going to try to go down a little bit to get a better view of whatever this thing is. That is just really freaky. And so I did. I went down there. And so I begin to go down, and it's steep. It's difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah, hopefully you can get out.
Man, what is... Oh, it's so creepy. If I could do this.
Oh no.
Oh, the lizard doesn't even want to be down here either. I don't blame him. Oh man, what is that? What is that thing? Is this like a rock that looks like a person or something? I don't know what I'm thinking, to be honest. And so I'm just standing at this edge trying to figure out the cave. Is it a sinkhole? What is that thing? And so I start to go down, and I'm getting closer, and I can see this thing, and it's coming into view, and I still can't tell if it's a piece of wood or if it's a person standing there or what, or is somebody playing a prank on me? I don't know. Okay, I'm like in this thing, and I can't tell if there's like a bee's nest somewhere around here because there's just like tons of that, like beehive sound. Plus, I need a flashlight. I didn't even bring a flashlight. I didn't think I could come down this far into it. So this is kind of a...
Whoa.
This is scary.
Where's your rope, buddy? Come on, man.
Why is it so scary to go over there? It smells terrible.
Oh no. I wonder.
And so I start to go down,
stuck down
and
there.
I'm getting closer, and I can see this thing, and it's... What is that thing? Is this like a rock that looks like a person? The cave?
Oh, keep going the wrong way. Figured down would be the next one, but... Come on, part 4. What the hell? What is that?
It smells like a dead animal or something. And as I begin to see this thing, I hear like this alarm go off. Man, where am I?
What?
Hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
I hear like a beep. In my mind, I'm thinking, did I trigger an alarm or something like that? Is somebody backing up like a dump truck and they're gonna dump a ton of dirt on me? I just don't know what's going on. And that really freaked me out. Like, is there cameras, looking at me, and some surveillance system going up? I don't know. I have all these things going through my head, and I'm freaking out. Plus, I'm like down in this pit, and so I'm like, I'm getting out of here to figure out what is that beep, because when I pulled up, nobody was there.
Drone?
Oh my gosh. So the beeping noise was my drone controller. I left it on up here. I was thinking there's like some alarm going off. I mean, obviously when I'm thinking rational, like you know, nothing's going on really. But just hearing an alarm when you're down there next to that dude, it's kind of freaky. So, oh my gosh, that was just so random, huh? This is a freaky adventure. This is not expecting any of this. So it's kind of a different, weird adventure. Oh man. So it's like getting close to that guy, and all of a sudden I hear this alarm going off up here. I'm thinking, did somebody pull up? They're playing pranks on me? Is there like some camera going off, camera surveillance system going off, alerting that somebody's down there? Sure. I'm supposed to be down there. I don't know, but I took that as a sign to come out, and then I'll fly my drone down there to get better views. That is so freaky. This is is it Halloween yet? This is crazy. So what was that thing? Let's go fly my drone down there and see what this thing really was.
I'm in my eyeball. It's my finger.
Seems like a dead animal. Someone placed this here as a prank or shooting target, or I don't know.
Wow.
Is this the Monopoly Man? You can see its top hat right here. Or is this some type of mannequin or statue or something else?
It
What do you
looks
think?
oriental to me.
Well, whatever this is, I spent the next little bit flying my drone around to see what else there was. And I just
It's
found
dead smell.
vandalism and some other things.
What's the dead smell, buddy? Too bad the drone doesn't have a light on it.
So there's these guys that just pulled up. I see their red SUV. I told them there's a surprise in there. Isn't that funny how we kind of get worried or scared about something that doesn't really exist, you know, but in our minds it's like 10 times more frightening. I think just the aspect of just being out here alone and then coming across that just makes it, you know, 5 to 10 times more scary. Hopefully you got scared too, just like I did. Hopefully I'll see you on the next adventure coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, this is Jeff at the Trip Planner. I'm
Hi, Jeff. All right, we're going back. We're going back.
The cave? Is it a sinkhole?
In 1984, George Orwell wrote, "It was always the women, and above all, the young ones, who were the most bigoted adherents of the party, the swallowers of slogans, the amateur spies, and nosers out of unorthodoxy." He wasn't being misogynistic, he was making a psychological observation. In his view, women, particularly in their role as caregivers and moral enforcers, tend to prioritize safety and compassion over risk and freedom. And that instinct, while natural, is easily weaponized by totalitarian systems. When conformity is marketed as compassion and control is rebranded as care, the state taps into the feminine psyche to enforce ideological obedience. Now consider this. Men will do almost anything to attract a mate, so when the state captures women through propaganda, redefining tyranny as empathy and compliance as virtue, men follow, especially those who can't compete in the traditional dating market. They feminize themselves and trade strength for submission. This is what evolutionary biologists call the sneaky strategy. Low-status males mimicking feminine traits or moral positions in hopes of reproductive access. And while all of this unfolds, families disintegrate. Single motherhood, a top predictor of poverty and social dysfunction, becomes the norm. Children from single-parent homes are far less likely to climb the economic ladder, and who steps in as provider and protector? Not the father, the state. But here's the kicker. The state is funded disproportionately by men, so rather than supporting the women they married and raised children with directly, men subsidize the state, which in turn provides for women through social programs. Why? Because women have been propagandized to see every relationship as a power dynamic, except one with the state, which is ironically the centralization of raw power. They've been told that to rely on a man is weakness, but to rely on a bureaucracy is empowerment. This is not progress. This is dependency with a new face.
Hell?
And
What are you
both
talking
men
about,
and
Willis?
women are suffering.
Let's talk about
The
Willis.
childless, middle-aged woman and the incel are two sides of the same broken culture. A woman without her own child often directs her maternal instinct towards abstract causes, infantilizing minorities under the guise of social justice.
What we are witnessing from psychologically unwell men and women is Nietzsche's concept of resentiment, envy dressed up as morality. The strong became evil, the weak became good, strength became tyranny. We now live in a pathologically soft society that sides even with those who harm it, where punishing crime feels unfair and victimhood is the highest virtue. Nietzsche called them the tarantulas, those who preach justice but act from bitterness. They don't want to uplift the weak, they want to drag down the strong. Orwell saw them too. Quote, most middle-aged socialists, while theoretically pining for a classless society, cling like glue to their miserable fragments of social prestige. These bitter, well-educated, and affluent types don't actually care about the downtrodden, they weaponize them. The real target is success, competence, independence, because those qualities expose their own inadequacies. But the answer to pathological femininity isn't pathological masculinity. It's not swinging the pendulum too far in the other direction. The answer is balance. Masculinity and femininity are not enemies. They're symbiotic. We've simply overcorrected. We escaped a world where masculinity once tyrannized femininity, only to arrive in a world where femininity is tyrannizing masculinity. We are not oppressed by patriarchy. We are being suffocated by pathological softness, envy, and resentment. And unless we recognize this imbalance, the future will not be free. It will be emotionally manipulated, morally confused, and biologically unsustainable.
In 1984,
And that's why, boys and girls, make sure you eat your vegetables so we can fight tyranny and oppression.
I don't believe it's a UFO cover-up. I believe that it's a time travel cover-up. My father, we had the documents. We don't have them anymore on the Philadelphia experiment. Einstein worked on it. My father did reveal that. And I just don't believe, I have said at a very important meeting about time travel. They wanted to know what my father knew and such like that. I have stated my issues, that there is no future and there is no past. There's only now. And the way that I think of it is very simple. As a computer, there are icons. You know your birth, you know your mother, and you know your birthdays, you know when your child was born, and each one is a picture within the brain. Well, the way that time works is those icons are sideways. There is no future, there is no past. There's only the memory of those icons. And can you draw from them as a human being? Yes, you can. But there are those that cannot do that. So if the ET would land here, he would have that ability, and it would segregate our society. See, there are other issues besides religion involved. There's the mental parts that are involved. I don't know if that's hard to follow or what, but these are the type of mind games that need to be played to understand why they do not reveal themselves to the masses.
Going back to what time is, different to what we think. Try to break down what you're just saying there. So
Jesus is dying on the cross right now.
So all past lives, future lives are happening.
We are limited beings. All we can see is when we were born and our timeline to when we die. It's insignificant in relation to the trillions in the universe. It's insignificant. There is no start. If you look at that, it's like Voyager looking back from the edge of our universe, looking back and seeing one single pixel. Is it important? No. Our whole existence is not important into relation. So why should we measure time? We know we go on after our death. We know we were somewhere before our death. My thinking is that human existence is just a coffee break from eternity. So I know this is deep, but
That's
what I'm getting at here is very simple, Kevin. There are other reasons why we don't know. Okay. Some can handle it, some can't.
Okay, so if all time's happening at once, so past and future lives are happening now, right? And present moment is really all we've got. The rest is an illusion, right? Why is that then? When you say that time travel is the real agenda here, not that we've been visited all this other technology out there. Why do you still say that time travel is the real agenda here, though?
Well, time travel is to cover up, because sitting at this table, which I will explain maybe further later, I was tricked into it by the head of the black projects for the Air Force. I don't believe it's a UFO cover-up. I believe that it's a time travel cover-up. My father, we had the documents. We don't have them anymore on the Philadelphia experiment.
You have those two options.
Officer, I am a federal informant. A federal agent.
Listen, buddy, I don't know who you are, what hero syndrome you're trying to...
A cop storms a hospital room, swearing he doesn't need warrants. But under the Fourth Amendment and HIPAA, privacy isn't optional. It's the law. What he doesn't know? The man blocking him is federal, and this power play is about to explode. See what happens next.
Enact for your buddy or your homeboy or your cousin or what. But I have a John Doe, and it's him that matches my bolo. My bolo is for a guy that I know it's him, but right now officially it's just a John Doe. That gives me full jurisdiction, even though I know who he is, to take him down and get him investigated. And once we investigate him, I know who he is, and he's going away for a long time. So step aside, because I don't know why you're even here. He's the guy I'm taking. He fits a description. I have a bolo. It's totally already taken care of. I don't need warrants. I don't need nothing. He's in the hospital, and I'm taking him with me.
First off, officer, you need to lower your voice. Second off, your presence needs to leave this room completely.
This is not a fortress. You're not the dragon at the gate. I don't know who you are. I don't know if this is your homeboy or your cousin or what, but I have a John Doe that I'm looking for. I have a bolo. I know that it's actually him, but because it's a John Doe, you have nothing you can do to keep legally me from taking him downtown, investigating him, and proving that I know his real name. And I'm not going to say his real name because I know who he is, and he knows I know who he is. And he's been eluding me for a while. But it's over. Like, I have the bolo. It's all legally handled. And whoever you are, family, cousin, buddy, gangbanger, or whatever you are, standing here with your gunshot wound yourself, you are probably the accessory that we're also looking for, the third person. I don't know who you are or why you're stitched up, but you want to be the John Doe? I'll take you down and process you and then come back and get him when you're out of the way. So if you want to sit here and stand in my way, we're going to have a bigger problem.
So you're going to judge a book by its cover, huh?
There's not a book by its cover. Why are you standing here?
You want to see my ID next?
I do want to see your ID, but to be honest, I just want you to step outside. If you don't step aside, we're going to get to the seeing your ID, processing you. But to be honest, I'm going to do all that downtown because I don't even want to save you the humanity of just showing me your ID because you didn't want to do that, right? Or you want ready to show ID?
I'm not doing any of that.
I'll take you downtown and see your ID. If you're going to keep stepping in my way, then we're going to have a problem. Like, I'm not going to have you impeding my progress on this investigation any longer. It cannot happen. So step aside, or at the very least, I'm going to see your ID. And unless you're someone real important, you're going to be going downtown to make sure you are who your ID says you are, to make sure you got no record, to run your whole everything on your background. And then you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to come get your homeboy because I know who John Doe is. I got the bolo. I'm not worried about nothing legally because it's all on the up and up. He's going away for a long time.
My homeboy.
Whatever he is.
You guys hilarious. You know that?
Oh, you people. Like now you want to throw the you people at me? Now you people as the cops? Like, because I have the whole legal system behind me, now I'm a bad cop or something, right?
You know exactly what you're doing, officer. Like,
I know exactly what you're doing. You're standing in front of me trying to get the process postponed or something, delay, so maybe your friend can, I don't know, get 30 more seconds of freedom because he is going away. If you keep messing with my work, I'm going to get really pissed off. See, he's going to end up dead before I can get him processed. I need him. I'm telling you, buddy, I know who you are. I know who you are. You're going away for so long. Death is going to be the thing you wish for and pray for every night and every morning.
Excuse me, officer, like I said, lower your tone and leave this room. You have no reason to be in here right now. Do you not understand that?
If I'm leaving this room, which I will soon, it's going to either be with you or him. I want him. That's the John Doe I want because he's the bolo that is actually going away for a long time. You can be someone we just processed. Listen, I need to see some ID. I need you to get out of the way. If you're going to keep impeding my investigation, I'm going to have to see ID downtown or right now. Show me your ID or come with me. You have those two options.
Officer, I am a federal informant. A federal agent. This man is under a criminal RICO case. And right now, your presence in this room alone is going against jurisdiction. So you shouldn't be doing. I need you to leave, officer, and get the hell out this room.
All right, I know who he is. He's going away for a long time. Me. You have
That is when he knew he messed up.
those two options.
Officer.
This is definitely one of the 10 stupidest things a human can do. Cutting off the world's largest warship, USS Gerald R. Ford. You think no one would dare to do that? China did it, and they will pay dearly for their actions. It was exactly 7:03 a.m. on August 24th, 118 nautical miles southwest of the Taiwan Strait. On that big, beautiful blue ocean, the steel leviathan known as the USS Gerald R. Ford, a 100,000-ton beast, a cool 13.3 billion in USD worth of American might, carrying 50 fighter jets. And the absolute pride of the United States Navy was carving through the waves at a brisk 30 knots. Flanked by her formidable escorts, the mighty fleet was on a historic and perfectly polite freedom of navigation patrol. Then suddenly, in the Combat Information Center, the blue glow of 50 radar screens started to dance. The integrated dual-band radar system, a brainiac working at 1 trillion calculations per second, instantly locked onto something funky. The ANSPY 3 radar network, a massive electronic eye with a transmit power hitting 6 million watts, 30 times more powerful than older radars, and began sweeping the eastern airspace a full 360 degrees. On the 4K displays, those initial radar returns were just faint, wispy curves like ghosts in a 0.62-mile thick fog. But the advanced signal processing algorithm designed to sniff out even the stealthiest targets with a radar cross-section of just 0.11 square feet, that's about the size of a golf ball. Folks immediately amplified the signal 100-fold, crunching 1 million data samples per second and cross-referencing it with a database of 10,000 electronic signatures. In a mere 30 seconds, the classification system knew exactly who the 2 uninvited guests were. Leading the charge was a Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon, a Chinese fighter jet, and let's be honest, a knockoff F-16 Raptor screaming along at Mach 2.1 with a 243-mile range. Following its comrade was a Shenyang J-35A. By the way, you know the J-35A is a copy of a certain aircraft, right? I bet you do. A very familiar fighter. Take a few seconds, drop your answer in the comments below. The J-35A, with a ceiling of over 49,000 feet and a speed of Mach 2.2 along with the J-20, was heading straight for the USS Gerald R. Ford. Their track on the 3D tactical map glowed bright red, blinking rapidly. The system kept doing its track-while scan thing, simultaneously sweeping a wide area of 193 square miles per second, all while clinging to those targets with 3.9-inch precision, updating their flight vectors without missing a millisecond. A 124-mile diameter alert circle flashed on the screen encompassing the 2 Chinese fighters. The isochronal line appeared, predicting they'd breach 62-mile air defense perimeter in precisely 3 minutes and 42 seconds, with a 99.9% probability of collision. So what was China going to do next? The moment the strange visitors were detected, the 1MC system, the ship-wide internal communication system, blared out information about what was approaching. Simultaneously, emergency red warning lights flashed across all exposed deck areas, accompanied by a long general quarters alarm, ordering the entire ship to its highest state of combat readiness. 7:17 a.m. The J-35A suddenly tilted its sharp wings towards the USS Ford, carrying what appeared to be YJ-83K anti-ship missiles and PL-15 air-to-air missiles. Immediately afterward, it performed a high-speed dive towards the ocean surface directly in front of the ship, just tens of meters away, almost touching the waves, before pulling up and soaring into the sky. A most impolite maneuver. Given that dangerous act, the USS Ford could not remain silent. A lieutenant in the CIC, with the captain's permission, pressed a button and spoke into the international communication device on frequencies 121.5 MHz and 243.0 MHz, requesting the Chinese pilot maintain a safe distance. The command on the Ford calmly awaited a response from the adversary. The silence did not last long. Just 30 seconds after the warning was issued, the Chinese pilot delivered a declaration of war. How audacious. The J-20 activated its integrated electronic warfare suite, including its jamming ECM module. At the same time, its AESA radar and EO IRST sensors simultaneously came online, creating a combined electronic attack aimed at neutralizing the USS Ford's defense. This is definitely one of the 10 stupidest things a human can do. Cutting.
I can't believe what they were saying in there.
Seriously, you could actually.
I just proved that our sun is operating at the exact same mathematics as the ancient Mayas used. And this changes everything we know about our reality. Solar Cycle 25 hit maximum activity in August of 2024, exactly 1,597 days after it started. That's not random. That's Fibonacci number F17. The sun is literally counting in Fibonacci sequence. It gets crazy. The strongest sunspot month has 216 sunspots. When I applied golden ratio mathematics, that it equals 5 times Fibonacci 12, which is 233. Perfect mathematical harmony. Right now,
As we speak, our sun is exactly 377 days past its maximum. That's Fibonacci number F14. We're living inside a cosmic mathematical equation in real time. Remember this
I understood the phenomenons.
equation I showed you? E equals h times frequency times phi to the Fibonacci power. Our sun's energy output is following this exact pattern. Solar flares, sunspots, everything. This means that the ancient Mayas weren't just tracking time, they discovered the mathematical operating system that runs our entire universe. The same number that creates flower petals and galaxies. Those same ones control our sun. Based on these Fibonacci patterns, I can tell you exactly when the next solar phase will hit, March of 2026. That's when we will reach F15 equals 610 days, and solar activity will shift dramatically. We're not just living on a planet that's orbiting a star, we're inside a massive cosmic computer running on golden ratio mathematics that ancient civilizations somehow understood perfectly. This is happening right now. Every solar flare, every sunspot follows ancient mathematical laws. Follow me if you want to see reality's source code.
So with makeup, I
Hey man, this one right here was a real banger. Thank whoever shared this, man. This one, I learned something on this one, man. So I appreciate you sharing it. Man, let's dive into this story. So most of us were taught that slavery in America was built solely on race. But what if I was to tell you that wasn't the original plan? So let's rewind things back to the 1600s, colonial Virginia. Back then, the labor force in the colonies wasn't just enslaved Africans. There were also thousands of poor white Europeans, many of them indentured servants. They worked side by side with black servants and enslaved people under the same brutal conditions. They lived together, they struggled together, and sometimes they rebelled together. Enter Nathaniel Bacon. Bacon was a young, ambitious colonist, frustrated with the colonial government.
Yeah, Bacon's rebellion was pretty badass. Just going to pause this for a minute so the internet can catch up.
Led by Governor William Berkeley. And he was angry that the government refused to protect frontier settlers, black and white, from attacks by Native American tribes. But this rebellion, it wasn't just about protection. It was about power. And for a brief moment in 1676, poor black and white people in Virginia found themselves on the same side. They rose up together against the colonial elite. Together, they burned Jamestown to the ground. They challenged the system. They said enough was enough. It was called Bacon's Rebellion, and it scared the wealthy plantation owners to their.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure they didn't teach us this in school because I love bacon and I would have remembered. Yeah, I didn't learn this until adulthood.
Core. Why? Because they saw something dangerous. Not the flames, not the violence, but the unity. The idea that poor black and white folks might realize they had more in common with each other than they did with the people in power. This terrified the ruling class. So what did they do? As usual, they rewrote the playbook. After Bacon's Rebellion, colonial lawmakers got busy, passing new laws that would divide the laboring class by race. They gave.
And they still do that today, but it's not just by race anymore. It's by political party and by religion and by so many other things that don't even really matter.
Poor white people just enough to feel above black people. Access to land, legal protections, the ability to own firearms, and the right to not be enslaved. And just like that, the racial caste system was born. Blackness became associated with slavery and criminality, and whiteness became associated with privilege and citizenship. And it didn't happen naturally. It was designed strategically, deliberately, to keep poor people divided and powerful in power. And here's why this matters. Because the truth is, we've been told the wrong story about race in America. Race wasn't always about skin color. It was a social tool, a control mechanism. And once we understand that, we can begin to unlearn the lies. We can start to question the systems that still divide us. We can start to rebuild the unity that scared them so much in 1676. Because when we come together across color, class, and background, we're powerful, just like they were during Bacon's Rebellion. So together, let's finish what they started. Let's rewrite the story together. This was an amazing lesson for me. I'm so happy I took the time out to read, and somebody suggested it to me. I had 5 people say, you need to do Bacon's Rebellion. And I'm so happy I did. I knew nothing about this. And these are the things that they want to write out of the history books so that we don't learn that we were once together. We fought together. We cried together. We did everything together. And we fought for one another as brothers, as God intended.
Tell the government.
And that's dangerous to those that want to stay in power.
Hope they're nasty, sneaky
so
shit.
I'm asking you, if you are enjoying this at all, please reshare this video. Please like it. If you got some more information, please comment on it. Man, share this, learn this information, teach this to your kids. It's so important that we realize where we came from and the intentional intent on tearing us apart. We're better than this, and we got to show them that we can be better than that today. I love y'all.
You want her to vacate her home?
Correct.
What?
I'm lost. This is her house and you want her to vacate?
Wow.
Yes, it is. But it was said that it was to be left to me once she was in a condition where she could no longer upkeep the house.
Okay.
You can't even upkeep your hair, bro.
What condition was that?
Bedridden, I guess, is the best way you could put it. Preferably, I think she needs to be put into a nursing home, but
this woman right here.
Yes.
This bedridden.
Correct.
Put in a
That's why
home.
she's standing right there.
Oh, I got to hear this one. Go ahead. Please continue.
So a few years ago during Thanksgiving, she had told me that all of this could be mine and that she...
The home we're talking about.
Yeah, the home, what's inside the home, the assets. Essentially the home.
Basically the whole estate.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And, you know, I told her that would be fine if she needed someone to care for her, that I would be there and whatnot. Come down the line, she needs someone to care for her. I left where I was at in Arizona. I was in the middle of a crypto startup. I was trying to get that going, but
where did you live when you were in Arizona?
Right outside of Phoenix.
No. I didn't ask you what town. I asked you where did you
live? Your housing,
what type
dude.
of facility or housing?
Basic apartment.
A basic apartment.
Yeah. Nothing luxury, nothing like that. Just a place to live.
A place to live.
Luxurious is the word, not luxury.
Correct.
Come on, crypto bro.
By the time I get to Phoenix, I guess you've never heard that one, huh?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yes. So continue.
So, you know, I get the call that she needs someone to be there for her. So I stop everything that I'm doing. I leave where I'm at to go help her.
Thank you.
And it's been months now. I've been trying to get her out of their house. I'm not trying to throw her out. I'm trying to transition her into
because
a new
she's
life.
bedridden.
Correct. You know, I can help her get out of bed. I can help her do things like that. I can help her when she needs it. But I also have a life that I need to live, that I'm trying to continue with.
And what life would that be, Mr. Larson?
Just trying to get my crypto business started up, trying to have a income that is passive to where I don't need to run around and do everything. I can stay back and help the people that need to be helped, i.e. my mother and whatnot. But at this current moment,
that would make you a good son.
I can't do that.
I understand.
As I have
Let me
no
ask
way
you a
to bring
question,
an
sir. Are you employed right now?
At the moment, no.
Hold that thought. Ms. Larson.
Yes.
You mind telling me what's going on here? First off, my first concern is because unless my eyes were deceiving me, did you need any type of assistance to walk from that bench to that podium?
No, Judge, I did not.
Okay, not to get into your personal business, but when you were at home and you were getting out of bed, did you need some assistance getting out of bed to get your clothes on, get your breakfast, and no, you didn't need help with that?
No.
Okay.
No, aside from
because
being
he
a
said
little-
you were bedridden. That's what he said.
Yeah. Well,
He said that also that you're probably ready to go into a home.
No.
That's what he said.
He's full of a lot of stories.
Continue.
Psycho dude.
Yeah. So started his crypto business in Arizona, and moved back to my house to crash there for a couple weeks 5 years ago.
What now?
Yeah, 5 years ago. No rent, no bills, no offers to pay rent or help with the bills. He's freeloading, and I'm about done with it. He wants to sell my house. He wants me out so he can sell it, so he can buy NFTs and a hot tub.
Where are you going to put it?
Doesn't work. He has his startup company, and all he does is post stuff on social media about cryptocurrency. And, he's trying to get me out of my forever home that I paid for 30 years. I paid that mortgage off.
You told me it would be mine at Thanksgiving.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. I got you, man.
Thank you.
I'm pretty good at this part. So I want to make sure I got this right. You want her to vape?
If you have GLP-1 hair,
they fear him. Now, people don't pay any attention to this. But Satan, show you how devious he is, took 1/3 of the angels of heaven with him in his rebellion. What did that tell you? When you think about this, there's no dummies in the angel corps. And yet he deceived 1/3 of the angels. How did he do it? This tells about his ability. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4 says he's the God of this world. That word God is not a name. It's a title. It's translated from the Greek word theos, from which we get our word theology. The definition of English in English is divine ruling magistrate high potentate. Think about that. That's his title. Divine means set apart, put above. Ruling magistrate. Who is a ruling magistrate? One that has authority by law to control the conduct of those under his jurisdiction. That's why Satan says 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 25, verse 26, he can take any lost person at will. He's a divine ruling magistrate. Not long ago, I had a lawyer call me from New York. He says, I have a man up here charged with murder. He's got a copy of your book, Demons Eyewitness Account. It says in there, the devil can make people do what he wants. He wants you to come up here and testify that the devil made him do it. I said, well, if you send me a subpoena, I'll come up here and testify what the Bible says. Just what I wrote is what it says. He says, okay. 2 weeks later, he called me back. He said, I'll get the subpoena. 2 weeks later, he called me back and said, the judge, get out of here, man. I ain't opening that can of worms in this court. So, but he let me see the God of this world at work. And he is a God. All them people out there serving him and they don't know it. They don't know it. The strongest one are his princes. They're at the top. They're from the giant warring order of demons. They were actually angels who fell with him. And angels are, they got some angels that look like animals, some that looks like birds. They're all described in the Bible. And they got the guardian angel looks just like a human being. And this is why Revelation says, Hebrews says, when you deal with strangers, be careful. Many times you deal with angels unaware.
Now, Brother Howard, you good works. You took in abused children. You were a police officer. You served. But something happened where he said your works weren't acceptable to him.
Yes. He says, well, when I stood before him to plead my case, see, the angels brought me there to plead my case. Because all the time I kept asking him, is he going to let me live? I knew that my spirit had crossed the veil. Flesh and blood can't go there. And I knew the only way I could come back, God would have to permit it. And I kept asking the angels every time. I still, no matter what I saw, I still was in love with this old piece of clay. And so they brought me there and let me plead. Brought me to the gate. They wouldn't let me. I didn't go in. I came to the gates of the third heaven, and they told me. I watched 50 saints being permitted to enter the gates of heaven, but they didn't let me go in. They said they stopped me. The angel stopped me there and says, "Well, I got to the gate," and he says, "If you go in, you can't come out. You got to stay till he brings you back." I said, "If I can't come out, then that means my physical life is over. And you told me I could ask him." Angel said, "You can ask him, but you stand outside this gate and ask him." And so I did. I came and I was allowed to plead my case. And I was pleading to a God I couldn't see, but I knew it was total silence while I pled my case. I was telling him I reminded him of all my good works. I told him about all the things that I'd done, all the things that's what I was basing on my good work. I told him about all of that. And when he was never said a word till I finished. When I finished, then he answered me in a voice that sounded like thunder. Wasn't anything like the voice that Satan had used on him. He says, I'm going to try to quote verbatim exactly what he says. "Your faith is dead. Your works are in vain. The life that you lived and offered to me as a life of Christian service is an abomination that I rejected in the Pharisee.
Okay, I'll be on.
What made you think I would accept it from a Laodicean type Christian?
Can you see the
In
sign on the
fact,
door?
untold millions are living the same kind of life that you live.
I'll be out in a
and
minute.
They stand in danger of my everlasting wrath." Unquote, the living God. I couldn't believe he was talking to me. I'm a preacher. I'm a teacher. I just told him about all my good works, what I'd done, They feel.
Man, I know she can read. She's like advanced reader. It's just disrespectful. Anywho's, on that note, we are going to our first music break. On this break, we have Miss Tamara Bubble from the greater New York area. Let me pull up the list here. She's going to be singing Cute Panties, Laundry, Pringles, and Out the Mud. Then we have Griff from Toronto, Canada. My friend from Canada called it Toronto. He's passed now, but I always hear it every time I go to say Toronto, Canada. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Yeah, bubble on that. Yeah, real kill. On the way. To be honest, I don't really wear many. I don't even really rock panties. Let me be clear, I'm used to getting a few new big pair each year from my granny. Couple sexy ones that might come out, and I done had way too much Henny. A drunk text go out. They come and eat the sweet juicy pie down there. I'ma go that route. But now, nigga, wrong song. I only need a couple of bars to turn you on. That's why I started mentioning that lingerie, but pull her to the studio with some long john. This verse about to take a turn for the worse, and all them cute panties gonna be long gone. Cause the hating niggas that I wrote it for, they ain't afraid of wordplay, that's why they wrote this for. So I'ma drive them wild. Thinking one day they might hit all about my voice shorts, G-strings, slutty thongs. Even put them head up with pennies on the cover, so they wonder how that bubble tastes. You can stay mad, be miserable, old, predictable, maybe not even applicable. But yeah, you typical. Check your man if it ain't you, cause way too many queens rocking shades, cause they eyes black and blue. Way too many dudes putting hands on the bra. That make you feel like a man. Mishandling a weaker vessel, yeah, you saw. Y'all look, it's way too many dudes only wanna spar. But ain't got no conversation, only wanna gossip or recall. Why kicks in these grown dudes? I got the broad dated like some broad. Why kicks in these dudes like these girls fighting on the stopper to record? These little niggas online, the worst part, lame hoes got a squad. And all they do is just like the females doing interviews for shopping. Let me slip you into something real soft. Prefer the laces satin or the silk, cause some pretty little rolls they gon' hang off your balls. Look at you sitting pretty, yeah. You the type that rock them cute pennies, yeah. Come here, yo, cute, yeah. Real cute. You hating on a female, cute, real cute. Why you mad we getting money? Maybe that's why you sag let them pennies shout. Oh, by the way, cute pennies, bro, real cute. Grown man, big boss, taking shots from a penthouse love. Talking trash, he making big calls. Yep, then again, that's only till his phone got off. Come again, yeah, his phone got disconnected. But don't worry, he be back online hating in a second. Back at the crib, remember she paid the phone and the rent. Squashing nigga vegetable sauce. Now he souped up in my mentions on some vegetable bro. Nigga comment at the comment, you that thirsty, drink vomit. I promise I ain't never seen nobody when had so much time to hate me. Be honest, is you mad at me? Or the fact that I'm grinding? It's a fact that I'm winning, son, I really be shining. Why you pressed on my diamond? You ready to swing on this little bitty girl, so don't tell me I'm lying. Way too many dudes putting hands on the bros. That make you feel like a man. Mishandling a weaker vessel, yeah, you saw. Yo, look, it's way too many dudes only wanna spar. But ain't got no conversation, only wanna gossip over car. Why kicks in these grown dudes? I got a broad data like some broad. Why kicks in these dudes like these girls fighting on the stop to record? These little niggas online, the worst part, lame hoes got a spar. And all they do is just like the females doing interviews with that nigga blog. I be like, come in, big boy, take off them drones. I just came from shopping. Let me slip you into something real soft. Prefer the laces satin or the silk, cause some pretty little rolls they gon' hang off your balls. Look at you sitting pretty, yeah. You the type that rock them cute pennies, yeah. Come here, yo, cute, yeah. Real cute. You hating on a female, cute, real cute. Why you mad we getting money? Maybe that's why you sag let them pennies shout. Oh, by the way, cute pennies, bro, real cute. Hey, get up on that washer. Hit the spin cycle till I come home. The way where I'm at, I'm out here breadwinning, so don't hit my phone. Shoulda never gave you treats like that. You got a sweet tooth and won't leave me alone. And every time I try to get some sleep, I wake up cause you doing me wrong. Nigga, under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like, who doing laundry? You? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Keep playing. Think I'm playing. I'ma have you doing them dishes too. Better let them plates clean. Be grateful for this delicious food. Why you want no fours? What you scrubbing floors cause you want some more? But you like it dirty. You is so dirty. You like it dirty. Nigga, under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like, who doing laundry? You? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Nigga, under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like, who doing laundry? You? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? First of all, I was sleeping. And second of all, why you creeping? Third of all up on me, rubbing like conditioner that you be trying to leave in. Relax, love, keep breathing. And I would say keep cleaning, but you like it dirty. You is so dirty. You like it dirty. Nigga, under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like, who doing laundry? You? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Get up on that washer. Hit the spin cycle till I come home. The way where I'm at, I'm out here breadwinning, so don't hit my phone. Shoulda never gave you treats like that. You got a sweet tooth and won't leave me alone. And every time I try to get some sleep, I wake up cause you doing me wrong. Nigga, under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like, who doing laundry? You? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Nigga, under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like, who doing laundry? You? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Undercover. Yeah. You like it dirty. You are so dirty. You like it dirty, yeah? Undercovers. Yeah. You like it dirty. You are so dirty. You like it dirty, yeah?
I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Where you from? Who you with? Are you a blend? Are you equipped? I do my thing, stay legit. In this world, no one's innocent. VIP, get bottles. One snap of my fingertips. See these haters like blah blah blah, blah blah blah, talking gibberish. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right? Do you and live your best life? Don't care if my head ain't right. Rolling and rolling and rolling SUV. Rolling and rolling and rolling with my homies. Rolling and rolling and rolling SUV. Rolling and rolling and rolling with my homies.
I'm going to live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm going to live my best life. Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? I'm going to live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm going to live my best life. Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life?
I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right.
We been poppin' like
Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them chips. Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them. I ain't never been afraid of a strange beat. New track from the crates with the same need. Lights on, bills paid, bring the same heat. Couldn't picture me spending the same unless you bring me. Low key, humble brag, never change me. New money coming in the bank changing. The quarters to dollars, the checks every hour. That money come in when I sleep or I shower. That's motivation, that dedication. I can see my dreams, I'm already chasing that bezel clean. Watch me embrace it. I'm a single girl that already taken like a stick-up kid. They already shake. You know, Harlem, Brooklyn, being known for break-ins. Bubble on deck, being known for cake, yeah. Stacking and saving up, move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. This that, see you laughing, but broken money. So get up out the hood, homie. Ain't no rentals over here, dummy. And no, they don't really think that we own it. So we been poppin', look on. Love the money, but the money live a long time and on. Yeah, them bills, so get the money with my own. Grab that, move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. We been poppin' like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them chips. Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them. I ain't never been afraid of investing. I'm talking more than dice games and I'm scratch offs. Lottery jackpots and the hundreds of millions. So who you think they making money on the back door? Ain't no gambler today. Ain't no gambler where my money that I built up. Got my money strong and my money long. My money long. Not one business, but no business. Natural growth, I mean no business. New growth like my natural hair. Yeah, I'm 10 toes down on the show business. Like back up off, man. Ain't no move around no business. Bring the track up with the tracks out in the both face. Steady running your mind, talking this and that. But it's that move up out the hood money. This that we been eating good money. This that really wish you would, homie. This that see you laughing but broken money. So get up out the hood, homie. Ain't no rentals over here, dummy. And no, they don't really think that we own it. So we been poppin', look on. Love the money, but the money live a long time and on. Yeah, them bills, so get the money with my own. Grab that move up out the hood money. This that we been eating good money. This that really wish you would, homie. So we been poppin' like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them chips. Sweet dreams, hold me, don't let go. Sweet dreams, please don't tell me lies. It's gonna be different now. That's what they say. It's gonna be different how when it's steady pouring rain. We stepping out the mud, yeah, we on our way. We stepping out the mud, we gon' be okay. Ain't got to live in dirt, I walk through. Ain't got to deal with what I won't do. We stepping out the mud, yeah, we on our way. Run your way up out the mud, we gon' be okay. Ain't gon' do me dirty, you gon' do me right. Give me all the sunshine I need in my life. Ain't gon' do me dirty, you gon' do me right. Give me all the sunshine I need in my life. I get the feeling under moonlight. Put a little twist into my beat. I should be dancing 'cause it feels right. Shake it with the breeze. Now once again, give me two dice. I feel so lucky, can't you see? Sweet dreams, hold me, don't let go. Sweet dreams, please don't tell me lies. It's gonna be different now. That's what they say. It's gonna be different how when it's steady pouring rain. We stepping out the mud, yeah, we on our way. We stepping out the mud, we gon' be okay. Ain't got to live in dirt, I walk through. Ain't got to deal with what I won't do. We stepping out the mud, yeah, we on our way. Run your way up out the mud, we gon' be okay. Ain't gon' do me dirty, you gon' do me right. Give me all the sunshine I need in my life. Ain't gon' do me dirty, you gon' do me right. Give me all the sunshine I need in my life.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we're doing Trippy TikToks with me, TessaTNT. And there's been some interesting ones tonight, for sure. Let's see what else we got.
Poor people of America. Not because they are weak, but because they were the first to see the machine from the inside. And I'm about to defend the working class of America like no one ever did. And by the time I finish, you'll see them with different eyes. For over a century, the American people have been fighting back. They have. Through civil disobedience, whistleblowers, grassroots movements, union strikes, and the relentless invocation of their constitution. The real battle wasn't red versus blue. It was corporation versus constitution. And every time the people gained ground, the system adapted. You have to understand something very important. When a system becomes parasitic, it doesn't destroy its enemies first. It destroys the host. And America has been the host. America was also the test lab. They were first to be flooded with addictive pharmaceuticals. First to be buried in weaponized debt. First to be psychologically fractured by engineered identity wars. First to be entertained into sedation. And first to be punished. Because if Americans woke up fully, it would be game over for the machine. That's why the system doesn't fear a foreign enemy. It fears the awakening of its own people. The American people are a hero, but no one told them they were living in the dragon's mouth. And what you're witnessing, in the collapse of trust, the social chaos, the inability to distinguish truth from manipulation, isn't because the people have failed. It's because the people have been systematically broken and then blamed for it. They are not the tyrants. They are the first line of resistance that's being crushed preemptively, so the rest of the world won't get any ideas. So what now? Do we abandon them? Do we mock them? Or do we finally recognize that behind the opioid crisis, the obesity, the division and the rage is a population in mourning? Mourning the death of its sovereignty, its family structures and its purpose. The question isn't whether Americans deserve to be free. The question is whether they'll remember that they were born to be. And when they do, when the host wakes up and identifies the parasite, the entire machine cracks. Poor people of America. Not because they are weak.
If you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or you
My wife is pregnant, and she believes that our baby is a miracle child because I'm infertile. But this baby defies all human logic. I'm 32 years old. My wife is 33. And when we first met, she had a strong stance against having kids. She said she doesn't want any kids. It's going to ruin our lifestyle. She wants to be able to travel, just get up and do what she wants. She wants us to be able to enjoy life. So she doesn't want kids. I can't have any kids. I had an injury in high school, a football injury to the groin, and it left me not able to have kids. Many doctors have confirmed, they have did many tests, and it was definitive that I can't have kids. So since she didn't want kids and I couldn't have any, I was on board with that. Now I never told her about my injury, right? Well, a couple of weeks ago, talking to my wife, she's hiding something, like, she don't want to talk. And I'm like, baby, what's going on? And she said, well, I know how we talked about us both not wanting kids, but I am 8 weeks pregnant. I was shocked because I'm thinking, wait, how can you be pregnant? I can't even have kids. I am in shock. And she says, baby, 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 baby. Because she sees I'm shocked. I know we didn't want to have kids, but now that I'm pregnant, I just have this urge to want to be a mother. The kid's going to have your athletic build. Kid's going to be smart like me. They're going to be able to play so many sports. Blase, right? And I'm just wrapping my head around the fact that, how are you pregnant? You had to cheat to be pregnant. I can't get you pregnant. That's all I'm thinking. And I'm trying to play it cool, right? I don't want to accuse her of anything, right? You're pregnant. I don't want to give you any unadded stress. So I tell her, I say, maybe we should consider our options. She says she really wants to have this baby. Being pregnant has instilled in her a new feeling of motherhood. She wants to have the kid. I contemplate, and I tell her, I tell her, hey, listen, I had an accident in high school that left me unable to have kids. I had an injury to the groin and I cannot have any children. I told her. She didn't believe me. She wanted to see the medical records. I showed her the medical records. She then said, this can't be correct. Let's do a fertility test. Both of us will take one because doctors can be wrong. This has to be wrong because I'm pregnant. So let's go do a test. Let's go do a test together. I didn't say anything. Whatever. I go through with it because I already know how the test is going to come back. It's been like that for years. I had a bunch of tests done already. But fine, right? Fine. Let's do it. We take the test. Test comes back. I have zero sperm count. I am unable to have kids the natural way. I can't have them. If I have kids, it has to be through some operations. I can't do it the normal way. Doctor lets my wife know that. Doctor tells me. My wife explodes on the doctor, saying how human science can't, solve everything. You're wrong. You mixed the test up because I haven't cheated on my husband in 4 years of marriage. You're wrong. That isn't right. We need another specialist. You are dumb. Called the doctor incompetent. Fine. Spiraling out of control, right? So we leave. We leave. We get home. She locks herself in the bathroom. She's crying. She stays in there for 2 hours. She comes out of the bathroom. I'm like, okay, well, here it is. She's finally ready to be honest. She's finally ready to tell me what happened, how she got pregnant, all of that. She's ready to face the facts. She's ready to talk. Turns out she was in the bathroom for 2 hours looking at TikToks, looking at YouTube video, looking at testimonies of people saying how their babies were miracle, how it defied all logic, and they got pregnant. She's telling me that the doctors are wrong, that this is a miracle that goes beyond all human logic, something that we can't understand, given to us from up above, that she is pregnant by miracle. I just sit there and I look at her and I say, baby, we not even that religious. She then tells me that I have no faith. That I have no faith. She starts calling out her family members, telling them how we're having a miracle baby that defies all logic. They're calling me, congratulating me. And I don't even know how to feel. I don't even know what to sit there and even say to them. Because my wife is starting to believe her own lies. She's starting to believe the own story that she's making up. And the worst part about it, she's looking at me like I'm just some faithless, unbelieving husband. The next step is to get a DNA test. And once that's done, guess I have an update. My wife is pregnant.
I wonder if he has an
She
uptake.
believes that our baby.
Ooh.
Do you have any information about the different races of Ebens? Because people are saying they're being abducted by these small grays, and others say they're very helpful. Do you think it's the same race?
I don't know that for a fact. I've never been briefed in, but I surmise they were different. I don't think the Ebens were hostile or anything like that. I think the other grays are different. Now, what the Ebens did was they cloned and they created other biological entities, even robotics. I mean, because Americans on the planet saw these robots and asked the Ebens, "What are these things?" "Oh, they're robots. They're don't worry about it. They're not gonna hurt you. They're just robots. We created them." But they look like humans, so they're a biological entity, but they were a robot. And so if they could do that, they could maybe make something else. Maybe the other grades. I don't know. That's what I think, and that's only my opinion. I don't know
agree
that
with
for
that.
a fact.
I definitely agree with that. Did we learn anything from being with the Ebens about our history, where we came from?
That is an extremely controversial subject or question, because the Ebens told us they've been visiting Earth for approximately 2,000 years. So that brings up a whole lot of questions about the religious aspect of Jesus. And, was Jesus a spaceman? I don't know that answer, and I'm not going to even dwell into it. But that brings up some questions, and I don't have those answers. I don't know. I don't know that they told us that they visited Earth 2,000 years ago. In fact, they gave us the Yellow Book. The Yellow Book is a holographic device that if you look at it, you have to be sitting in front of it to look at it, and it recorded the Eben history, including Eben's history of Earth. Now, what the ironic part about this book is, if you're German and you were looking at it, you'd hear everything in German. If I was Russian.
It's pretty cool.
I would hear everything in Russian.
Consciousness-assisted technology of some sort.
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Was there anything else that we learned about ourselves and our history from this book?
Yes, but the problem is, I don't know of anyone that actually was able to get through the entire history of the Yellow Book. I mean, the problem with it is I never saw it, and I've never used it. But the people that have, including a very good friend of mine who was able to look at it, and he sat there for several hours. If you put it down and put it back up, it starts all over again. It doesn't read that the fact that you want to start it, and there's no buttons or anything to push. So it might be impossible to sit for 100 days or whatever it is to look at the whole history of what the Ebens have recorded on this in this Yellow Book. So I don't know. I don't know. I know other researchers such as Linda Moulton Howe and some others have delved into that more than I've heard of. But that's all I've read about it. They didn't go into a lot of details about the Yellow Book.
Or our history. The commander never said they spoke about our history, or
only that they've been visiting Earth for 2,000 years. But I don't know that there was anything brought up about that I could remember.
Is it possible when they came to visit us that they got into some sort of genetic, mutations or growing of beings or even hybrids?
That's been discussed. I don't know I don't know the actual answer to that. My own personal feeling is it probably did. I think their mentality, the Ebens mentality, what I read out of these documents, is that they're going to do what they have to do to survive or create a guarding force or whatever. Because they had one thing that we did find out, they had a battle with another planet. The hundreds of thousands of Ebens were killed. And they finally made peace with that planet. It was in the same system, solar system. And that's how, and they
Oh, no, you don't.
they've maintained a peace with this other planet. Now,
were they Ebens too?
No, they were a different race. But some of those from the other planet is what the commander is saying, that the Ebens are cloning. So they have a safeguard. They're safeguarding just in case. They're going to do what they have to do to survive. Every planet's going to do this. The problem with our planet, we have so many different races, so many different countries. Their planet, they have one race, Ebens. That's it. There's no other races on that planet. They wouldn't allow any other races on the planet.
What?
And they wouldn't allow crossbreeding either. That's one of the things that our scientists thought about doing, and either artificially or not. And the Ebens said, no, there's no way you're going to do that. And we accepted it. So the Ebens are going to do what they have to do to protect themselves.
Protect that race.
Yep.
17 dimensions in an entity that they have been in contact with for over 7 years.
Don't be afraid. Be imperfect.
So CERN recently turned on their Hadron, however you guys want to call it, collider. I always call it hydrogen collider. But then again, this ain't my first language. Hi, my name is Armin. This is The Imperfect. If you're new to the channel, please consider dropping a follow. It'll mean the world to me, and I'll follow you back as soon as I can. TikTok allows me 10,000, and we're halfway there. Anyway, so CERN literally turned on their hydrogen collider, however you want to call it, once again. But this is concerning. Why is this? So they had this weird ritual that lasted for 4 hours. They did this above ground and underground. You have world leaders from all over the place that took part in this, at least as a witness or a fan, right? So if we're spending $10 billion to search for the God particle, antimatter, a lot of people are saying that they're trying to store antimatter, but they can't. Also, why are they calling it the portal of Osiris? All kinds of weird stuff is going on here. If it's supposed to be scientific, why are they dressed demonic? Why are they dressed as goats? Why are they doing human?
Imperfect.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not... This ain't right. Something's up, clearly. The fact that they named it a portal anyway, the portal of Osiris, But the fact they're willing to openly say it's a portal, this also is not science fiction. This is science fact. CERN literally says this.
Who are actively engaged, according to their own words, communicating with something with a personality.
That should be concerning. Again, my name is Armin. Welcome to the Perfect. If you're new to the channel, drop that follow. Big videos coming on YouTube soon.
So the White House is unable to track billions of dollars sent to Ukraine, and the U.S. Treasury is unable to track trillions of dollars in pandemic spending, yet the IRS wants to know where your $5.38 is, or you're going to jail.
It's ridiculous.
If genitals don't define gender, how does removing them affirm it? Want to stop drunk drivers from killing sober drivers? Ban sober drivers. That's how gun control works. So I can't have an opinion on abortion because I don't have a uterus, but I can be a woman without one? Got it. Why is it that if the government finds diamonds or oil in your backyard, it's government property? But if they find drugs, it's yours? That's
weird.
Just a quick reminder, Mother's Day is for moms, not for men in dresses. Your day is April 1st.
If you don't hurt people, you ain't got to
towards me again.
Shut your ass up.
Okay, so for those of you that are just listening, it says the Black Panther Party was called to West Philly for help with police brutality. We came. Police brutality will not go unchallenged. Power to the people. All right, let's see what is going on here.
You better not step towards me again.
Shut your ass up.
Right
I'm right here.
Okay, take another step.
Physical distance.
I know.
Arms length.
Right.
I know
Listen,
I'm right. I'm
right.
right. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. You shouldn't have a badge on, you fucking bully. This is what's going on. If the people in the community are mad about what y'all doing, you should be listening to what they say and trying to fix it. Not getting in their face talking about, I wish you would, because I will. I'm not scared. You see how many of y'all, comrades, walk 50 feet that way. Walk 50 feet that way. Excuse me, can y'all back up just a little bit? I want to display something. I'm by myself. I'm not scared of all of y'all. Right? I'm telling you, if black people are brutalized in Philadelphia, we going to get involved. We don't want to get involved. We want to serve the community together. We want to stop the drugs and stuff together. But you can't be on both sides of the line. So you can't be punching people or stepping on their head or laughing at them while they're having a seizure and then want somebody to be nice to you. You see what I'm saying? If my comrades did that, I'd fuck my comrade up. My comrade wouldn't be walking around next to me in a uniform. And I wouldn't care if I got fired or sued or any of that shit because I stand for it. You're supposed to stand for that. You see what I'm saying? So if you, right, but that shit right there wasn't me. I hear you, but what I'm saying to you is I'm telling you why. I'm telling you where this anger come from. You see what I'm saying? If the police don't brutalize people in this neighborhood, we don't got to get with the police. But if we get videos sent to us of that, we going to come yelling and screaming and ready to fight. Guess what? You got to write the voice. It's not funny. That's why you're a pig. See, police officers, police officers that serve the community, they cool. But when police officers laugh at people having seizures because they slammed them on the ground, that's a pig, right? When police punching you is not part of their policy. That's a pig, right? The police officer says I would dignify everyone I encounter during the commission of my ship. If they're not dignifying everybody they come encounter with, that's a pig. It says I would treat everybody with courtesy and respect. If they hop out talking like this, bald-headed bully, that's a pig. You understand what I'm saying? That man is black in the black community being a pig, right? I want y'all to know the difference. I also want you to know that you do not have to be scared of them. See what I'm saying? You don't. You don't got to be scared of them. You understand? I will get into it with them and die before I let them do anything to you, sister. You don't got to be scared of them. And more black men in this community need to get their right. I got my record expunged. I got a gun license right here. More black people need to get their record expunged, and they need to get legally armed so that they're not the only ones with the guns. So that the punching and the slamming and the putting the foot on the head, all that shit stops. Because all three of those things happen in that camera, and they're not going to happen while I'm here. I got you. What's your name, sir? My name is Paul Birdsong. I'm the chairman of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. What's yours? Listen. We're here to be peaceful. We're just here to make sure nothing goes wrong. That's what I'm here for.
We don't need no hostility.
There is hostility. Listen. If you don't want hostility, hold your comrades accountable. Every officer that's in that tape should be arrested. What about the officer who slammed that man in there and laughed as he had a seizure?
Well, we can take care of that. We can take care of that.
Oh, we gonna take care of it. We already filed and lost that every badge number in that video.
You can't make threats.
I didn't make a threat. I responded to one. He said it. I said, we're the Panther Party's here. We're not gonna let you beat up on anybody here. That's not a threat. That's us defending ourselves. We're the Black Panther Party for self-defense. He got out the car and said, if I interfere with him doing his duty, it's gonna be a problem. I said, your duty's not to punch nobody, right, or kick nobody, or laugh when anybody's having a seizure. So if you illegally put your hands on somebody, I'm gonna intervene. I don't care if it's a problem. I'm not just voicing my opinion. I'm telling you that the Black people will not be the victims of the police in this community no more while we're here.
Anybody.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna recruit others around here. So when I leave, they're gonna continue not being the victims. Okay. Right, all right. You hold your comrades accountable. I make sure mine do the right thing too. Black power. Black power.
Limited edition Alien and Predator.
Mr. Frank Rosenthorpe, you have been found guilty of treason, and it has been decided that you should be put to death by firing squad. No! Shut up! Now, do you have any last words?
Yes, just 3.
That was it.
Okay, moving on. Firing squad. Each of you has been handed a rifle. In only one of these rifles is there an actual bullet. This is so that no one will know who actually fires the shot, and that none of you will have to bear the weight of guilt on their conscience. Understood?
Yes.
All right. Now on my mark, you will aim at the criminal and fire.
If you dare!
Shut up! All right. Ready? Aim. Fire. Okay, nobody hit him. You have to aim, all right? Whoever has the bullet didn't hit him. Don't assume you don't have the bullet. You still need to aim.
I was aiming.
Well, aim better, okay? Robertson, paying attention? All right.
Hey, why'd you single me out?
No reason. No reason.
I have the bullet, don't I?
I didn't say that.
I'm glad I didn't aim. I can't bear that guilt.
Oh! Yep. Give me the gun back. Give me the guns back. All right. I'm shuffling the guns. Shuffling the gun. That way we don't know who has what gun. It's all going to be shuffled. All right. Here's your gun. Here's your gun. And here's your gun.
It's that one. I watched it.
Give me the gun. Give me the gun back. Give me the gun. All right. Don't watch this time. I'm shuffling. No one can see me. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
You men, free me and tie him to the post, and I shall make thee king.
Shut up! All right. Here's your gun. Here's your gun. Here's your gun. Now, don't look in there. Give me that. All right. Now you have this one, and you have this one. All right.
Was it the one?
No, you're good.
That means I probably have the one.
No, it doesn't. It means either you have it or he has it.
I'm not going to aim.
You have to. Give me the guns back. Mr. Frank.
No. Just break through it, buddy. Oh.
Walking a stairway, there was no rocking a hard place, it's battery control. What am I waiting?
So, for those of you that are just listening, this dad has a good approach, teaching his child that no one can rely on anyone. And there on the sidewalk, there's like 3 strands or ribbons or whatever across this walkway, and he stepped over the strands and left his little baby son on the other side. And then the little boy got the strands caught in between his legs and couldn't seem to figure out how to get across it. So the dad lifted him up, put him back on that side, not tangled up, and let's see what happens, I guess.
Beg to believe my compass, my transport.
She did it! Good boy.
아프리카 수단에서
How to speak Trump. Well, Saturday. Guess I should mow the grass. Trump translation. We're going to take care of the grass. It's that time of week. A lot of people take care of the grass on Saturdays. Some people do it other days. A lot of guys don't even take care of the grass. I do. I know all about the grass. I own a lot of grass. I have the greatest grass, and I know the best type. Some people are suggesting maybe we attack it militarily. We haven't discussed that fully. We have a lot of military technology that people don't know about that could eviscerate the grass. And I don't know if you heard about this in Springfield, Ohio. They're eating the grass. The people are eating the grass, which is disgusting, disgraceful. We don't do that here. So we're going to take care of the grass. And I'll tell you what, we're going to mow America's grass again. How to speak Trump. Well,
it's so funny.
Saturday. Guess I should mow the grass. Trump translation. We're going to take care of the grass.
What if I told you that Jesus' last words were not a cry of despair, but a direct shout out to a 1,000-year-old prophecy that everybody missed?
What was it? What was it? Oh, come on, Century Stink.
Eloi, Eloi, lachma sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Everybody thinks that when Jesus said this, he was in agony and despair. He was literally crying out to God like, dude, why have you forsaken me? But no, it's so much more than that. Lock in. Let's get into it. So at this point, Jesus had been hung on the cross to be crucified. And reading in Mark, it tells us that there was a total solar eclipse that covered the land in darkness for a total of 3 hours. Now, this is especially remarkable because during a full moon, which Passover was always held during, a total natural solar eclipse is completely impossible. This was an extraordinary miracle in the heavens because it was the agony of creation itself showing the suffering of the Creator. Now, there's a Roman historian named Phlegon who also mentions an earthquake at the time of crucifixion. And in Mark, it tells us it was total darkness from the 6th hour to the 9th hour. And in that end of the 9th hour, Jesus cries out, Eloi, Eloi, lachma sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Now, this is extremely interesting because Jesus was quoting Psalm 22, a prophecy that was written by Daniel 1,000 years prior. Now, the Pharisees should have noticed this because they were biblical scholars and scribes, but they just totally missed it. If you look here right at the beginning of Psalms 22, he's directly quoting it. My God, why have you forsaken me? If you keep reading through that chapter, it just gets more and more interesting. But I am a worm and not a man, scorned by mankind and despised by the people. Sound familiar? All who see me mock me. They make mouths at me. They wag their head. All right, now check this out. Verse 14 through 18 says, I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted within my breast. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to my jaws. You lay me in the dust of death. Now check this out. For dogs encompass me. A company of evildoers encircles me. They have pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones. They stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lot. Isn't that wild? A company of evildoers encircles me. That's the Pharisees. They've pierced my hands and feet. His hands and feet were pierced. I can count all my bones. They stare and gloat over me. Everybody was doing that. And they divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. And in Mark, it tells us they were casting lots for Jesus's belongings and clothing. See here in Mark 24, and they crucified him and divided garments among them, casting lots for them and decide what each should take. wild. So by quoting Psalm 22, that passage, Jesus declared that he fulfilled that prophecy in both its agony and its victory. And the Pharisees just completely missed that. So then it says, Jesus cried with a loud voice and then breathed his last. Most victims of crucifixion spend their last hours in complete exhaustion or unconsciousness before death. But Jesus was not like this. He was the real OG. Even though he was tremendously tortured and weakened, he was still conscious and able to speak enough right up until the moment of his death. You want to talk about true strength? I think that says it. John 19 tells us he cried out in a loud voice, "It is finished." This is one word in ancient Greek, tetelestai, and it means paid in full. Now, this is the cry of a winner because Jesus paid in full the debt of sin that we owed. He finished the internal purpose of the cross. As horrible as the physical pain of the crucifixion and suffering was, it wasn't the pain or agony or anything physical that Jesus dreaded. No, what Jesus dreaded was that momentary spiritual suffering, separation from God, this act for being judged for sin in our place, God's righteous wrath. On the cross, Jesus became, in a sense, an enemy of God and was forced to drink the cup of the Father's fury. He did it for us so that we would not have to drink that cup. Now that is just true, pure, and righteous love. And if Jesus can do that for you, what can you do for him? Amen.
Here's 3 reasons why buying your Halloween.
So we now know for a fact that Jon Stewart of The Daily Show not only committed the exact same crime Trump was just convicted of, but he did it in the exact same district that Trump was just...
Jon Stewart just kissed his entire career goodbye. The only reason that anybody looked into this was because he went on a rampage about how Trump's crime was not victimless.
When I talk about how stupid people are in this country, I get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of hate. People are like, "Oh, you're so mean." But it's true. People, this is the dumbest country. Now it is illegal to sell your property, and turn a profit. I'm fixing to spend life in jail because every property I've ever sold, I sold for a profit. And then check this out.
People will pay it. They just prove that they would, and then use all that extra tax revenue to pay for this, that, and the other. That's exactly what the government would and might be doing.
He is suggesting that the government is keeping gas prices elevated to collect more tax revenue. Do you know how stupid you have to be to believe that? Whether gas is $1 a gallon or $10 a gallon, the federal and state take the exact same amount. Higher gas prices do not lead to higher tax revenue. As a matter of fact, higher gas prices lead to lower tax revenue because people conserve more and buy less. If the tax is 25 cents a gallon, it doesn't matter how much the gallon is. The gas is 25 cents a gallon.
He refused to give Russia Nord Stream 2. Joe Biden opened up Nord Stream 2. When he opened up Nord Stream 2, that helped Russia just rake in billions and billions of dollars in oil.
Nord Stream 2 didn't carry oil. It's not an oil pipeline. Oh my God. We are so fucked. We are so fucked. Like, we are doomed.
Truckers are now mobilizing, halting shipments to New York City in response to the judge's...
Yeah, how'd that work out? Whatever happened with that? I mean, what happened?
If our data is correct, we could be at $10 to $12 a gallon by the end of the third quarter 2023.
Or 3. Or 305 or 310 or whatever it was. Yeah. God damn. This is why people on this app have to take breaks from it. Because when you absorb that much stupidity, your brain goes into fight or flight mode. Your brain is screaming at you, shut it down, shut it the fuck down.
So we now know for a fact that Jon Stewart of The Daily Show not only committed the exact same...
Oh my God! 911, where's your emergency? My dad's being really mean to my mommy. What's he doing? He's hitting my mom and he's staying her to the ground. How old are you? 12. And he's physically hurting your mom? He's beating her to my bed and he's making marks on my mom. Do you know what they're fighting about? Everything! Get off my mother! Who's at the house with you guys? Just my sister, my dad, and my mom. My dad and my mom. He's just hiding out. Okay, they're coming. Okay, how old's your sister? 9. Do you know if anybody's been drinking? My dad has. They're fighting really bad. You're leaving? Yes. Oh my God! What's going on? Can you tell me what happened, honey? My dad and my mom and my sister into a flower pot. Oh my God, he's hurting me! He's hurting me now! Can you go? You need to go away from them, okay? You need to take your sister. My mom broke her arm! Your mother has broke her arm? Please hurry! My dad broke her arm! Get away from me! No, they're coming for you! They're all coming for you! The police and everything! You're harassing her! Are you coming soon? Yes, honey, they're coming, okay? They're on their... Oh my God! He just pushed her! He pushed her really hard! And she's really dead! And we're all outside! My mom really hurt her arm! Dad! Get off me! Get off my mommy! Are you guys doing this here? I don't want to live here anymore! It's really bad! He's never done this before? Well, they've been fighting for a long time, but he's never done it this far! We're trying to get in the car, but he won't let her! Ow! Ow! It's really mean! Really mean! I'm in the car! He's not letting us go! He's holding on!
Run his ass over.
We're pulling out of our driveway right now! Go fast, Mommy! Go fast! Oh my God! He's dead! He's dead! He's real dead! What happened? He was hanging onto the car and he fell! Oh my God! 911.
$65
off Botox Cosmetic for a
That was scary.
2, 3, 4. Hey, have you ever tried?
Hello, my name is Amaury Rivera. I live in Puerto Rico, and back in 1988, I was working in a nightclub, and
It's probably just mad because I didn't listen to that music and get copywritten. Come on, it's interesting. Totally need a new internet provider.
there was a musical group there. One of my cousins wanted me to photograph the musical group, and she loaned me a camera with some film. On my way back home, I encountered two small beings, two small strange men, which I didn't think were men from outer space. And they took me somewhere where there were other people besides myself, other human people, like from Puerto Rico, I guess. From here, another human being showed up. He claimed to be from a distant planet. He was dressed in black. He had dark skin. He had long black hair up to the shoulders, and he spoke to us with the mouth, verbally, and no telepathic speaking. He showed us various projections, which looked very real projections, and he informed us about a whole bunch of things that are even still incredible to me. Then they returned me to... What did this holographic projection show? The holographs were mainly, the first one that I can remember was like a short trip through space. We saw where he came from, where he said to be from. We saw his people, we saw the houses that they used. And the second one was about a meteor or rock falling to Earth in the near future, which is going to cause a lot of havoc in the world. This would fall, and it's going to fall in very near the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, and those other small islands. But it's going to affect the whole world, not just Puerto Rico. The last one is that they projected was showing us how there was only going to be one government on the planet Earth. They'll be living on some sort of artificial island that's going to be floating in the middle of a dark, black, dirty sea. And then this man returns me to my car again, and left me somewhere different from where the whole ordeal had started. Apparently, they took me with car and all. After this, at this given time, I heard some jets in the sky, and I still had my cousin's camera, and I took the pictures, 4 of which I'm making public nowadays.
Wow.
So the jets followed the UFO. Yes, it was. They seemed to be surveilling it. I only got to capture just one of the jets in the photograph, but there were 3 of them. Or maybe I got in one of the photos one, and in the second or third I got one of the other ones, because they would go around it very far away, and while this one was closer, and turn, very far, very far. And by the time this one was coming back, another one was turning over there. There was always one or the other close to the object, to the UFO. Hello, my name.
Wow. All right. Well, on that note, boys and girls, we are going to our second music break. And on this music break, we have once again Miss Tamara Bubble with I'm It, Natural Born Winner. Then we have Griff from Toronto, Canada with Let Freedom Ring and Zoo. And then we have Prime Example, which is a band that has our friend Quest Nation on it. He's one of the band members, and this is featuring Miss Carolyn Giles with Dancing Machine. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
I'm about to hit the road. I'm going to the club. I'm about to pull up. I'm going through the door right now. I'm saying, man, all these guys in here is going down in here. But I came here to get my groove on. Got my dancing shoes on. Time to have some fun tonight. So come on, baby. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Get on the floor, we can dance non-stop. Step, 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 we can do it all night. Baby, come and dance with me. Tonight we will be like 2 dancing machines. Can you hang with me? Tell me, baby. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Get it on the floor, we can dance non-stop. Step, 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 we can do it all night. This is how it's supposed to be. Just you and me, like 2 dancing machines. Can you hang with me? Tell me, baby. Look like they hating on us, 'cause I keep catching them up. Tonight we erase the world. We about to tear up this club. Just you and me, like 2 dancing machines. Can you hang with me? Tell me, baby. Keep dancing, keep dancing, keep dancing, keep dancing. Are you ready with me? Are you ready with me? 2 dancing machines.
We both had a long day, time to blow some stress off. You working with the best, I'ma dance your pants off. I really love it how your body's so soft. Dance all night, little lady, it's your call. Step, 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 baby, follow my lead. You and me showing off for the club to see. No time to get rest, we doing our thing. Cha-cha, then we dip, top it off with a spin. Glide across the floor, let's do it again. By the way, little mama, can we be friends? I can't let this night just end. I really wanna know if I can see you again. Give me your number, we'll get back on the scene. We can hit another club if that's your thing. We'll be partners in crime, you and me, as we ripping up floors like 2 dancing machines.
Okay, yo, here's the scoop. You can still be a slave, yo, whip and loop. That's the proof. Got big houses, nice cars. That's real cute, but that doesn't mean nothing. You ain't free to choose. When I say free to choose, no alarm clock, don't gotta hit the snooze. The world is backwards. I'm so confused. They say freedom of speech, but when you speak your mind, they blow a fuse. Just being honest, common sense ain't common. It's kind of ironic. My freedom, I recently bought it. Now I'm a target. If I do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, come on, man. Let freedom ring. Yeah.
Freedom!
United States become divided states. The world is filled with all kinds of shades, and still resegregate. Parents separate from the children, that's not okay. We should be free to laugh and play. Do it now before you pass away. Fight for what's right, enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie. Brainwash, social media full of lies. Go to work, pay bills, then you die. Need a breakaway, guns, get rid of the AKs. Our ancestors paved way since the slave days, but we still hurting. Carry that burden. Stop playing victim, beat the system. Love is love, it should be shown. Can't grow unless you leave your comfort zone. This I know, I learned all this from the mentorship. Kids don't know what independent is. Take advantage what your parents did. Go against the grid, you have to. Like going to the bathroom, learn the right songs. Cause of Matthew, liberty like statue, they call now the present, cause it's a gift. It should be cherished, last name fearless, not Harris. All thanks to my parents. Now, love the last name every time that I hear it, cause I know what it represents. Climb the fence, so now I got freedom. Such a beautiful thing.
Freedom!
Such a wonderful thing.
Freedom!
Such a beautiful thing.
Freedom!
Such a wonderful thing.
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
Such a beautiful thing. Such a wonderful thing. Such a beautiful thing. Such a wonderful thing.
I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner, cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner, cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm your favorite rapper. And I ain't in the suit, but I'm looking dapper. When I ain't in the booth, yeah, I'm still gon' snap it. Homie, you ain't gotta lie, cause it's the truth we after. And I'm here without the beef for the clout. I'm the one you shouldn't believe the rumors about. Spitting and giving you brain tumors and Zuma lessons. Mover and a shaker with the flow soon as I pop you toes. If you had any ego or ego, let go. If you had any doubt about me, just know I'm pleasing to the ears and the eyes and the throat. And I ain't giving you no more detail till we talk pillow. I ain't nowhere close to my greatness. I don't do all that boasting, just make hits. Yo, I don't do all that posting, making pics for like ain't make this up, I can't fake this. Seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm a lover and a fighter and a giver and a pleasure and pain and boss deliver it out. Yeah, I make this look real easy. Everybody hate Chris, but I'ma win like breezy. But I started later on the way to the top and can't stop, so don't push not one button on this elevator. They try to push my buttons to start levitating, rise above it all. I can tell that you fake when you're shaking my hand, and the smile on your face shows me even you're greeting and meeting and love is hating. I'm actually amazing, but modestly saying I ain't waiting for cosigns or playlists, cause I ain't nowhere close to my greatness. I don't do all that boasting, just make hits. Yo, I don't do all that posting, naked pics for likes, and I ain't make this up, I can't fake this. Seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm the one you gon' call when you're lonely. I'm the new girl on the block, you gon' show off to your homies. I'm telling you now, we gon' vibe in the booth. How you crave another feature like I'm your sweet tooth. All my people wanna see me shine, but I don't pray for you to fall, cause I don't play with karma. When I slide through, it's gon' be bad timing. Like, watch out, little homie, watch out. I'm
but you can't reap. Know that you're mad, but you can't reap. Know that you're mad, but you can't reap. You can't leave. You're right where you wanna be. That is right, here with me. You're right where you wanna be. Right with me. You can be anything you want. If that's what you really want, you can be anything you want. All I want you to do right now is leave this room. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave this room. Oh, I'm wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. Know that I am wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. If you want to get left behind in this rat race, go back. What can I do if I lose you? All I want you to do right now is leave this room. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave this room. Okay. She was a Loompa Loompa, now her body super duper. Getting a lot of attention she was never used to. Hitting me up like I was Uber. Got a few miles, so I guess she's a cougar. Be a winner, never seen her with a loser. Gorilla talk, ooga booga booga. Scuba, tuba, diver, I'm a rider. Getting cider, sweet like cider. Fighter, fighter, rider. Neither, neither wants to get it going. Know it, hold it, fold it, know it. Wait, I'm pages broken from these beats. From down east on the streets, it's a zoo. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. Oh, girl.
So traditional science suggests that.
Hold on a minute. Wait a tick. Man, everything is moving so slow. All right. I just wanted to welcome you back before we hop back into the TikToks. Instead of doing the For You page, we're doing the following page. So it's pages that I follow or liked or whatnot. So let's get into that. Kind of switch it up a little bit.
The temperature, on Venus is around 800 degrees. Man, how would you survive there?
I went to the surface, and the surface is absolutely livable. So about 85, very balmy, very very pleasant temperature at the equatorial area.
Mm-hmm.
So not the high temperatures that supposed probes or disinformation campaigns or whatever's going on out there as far as like life on different planets and the moon.
Right.
There's life on every single planet. So there's life on Venus. We came into their atmosphere. I remember there being clouds and cover, and then eventually when we broke free from the clouds, the surface was clear. There were forests, there were animals and structures that were on the surface around the equatorial level.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to figure out how to move this about. No, missed it.
Going on out there as far as like life on different planets and the moon.
Right.
There's life on every single planet. So there's life on Venus. we came into their atmosphere. I remember there being clouds and cover, and then eventually when we broke free from the clouds, the surface was clear. There were forests, there were animals and structures that were on the surface. Around the equatorial level is where I came in. There's probably about 15 or so of us that got out that did the training there with the love training that I talked about.
All right.
That was quite an experience because we've heard that Venus was too hot to have life, and here we are landing on Venus, and there is life. So on the Venus surface, there's plant life that can live very comfortably in that 85 to 85 degree environment. So when the sun sets, it's still, very nice and balmy, 65 degrees, 85 at
Very, very frustrating. Try to pause my speaker really quick. I don't know, guys. I might have to
during the afternoon. So I have those memories, and when I started to work with the plants and stuff like that, the plants were alive. They could actually unroot themselves and move. So these old growth forests could actually get up and move around. You could communicate with them, not like we're talking, but it was telepathic communication, like I've learned. It was very valuable, not only the plant life but also the animal life. I saw like a bear lion. So the lion was on all fours, but it had a bear head. So the body of a lion with a bear head. I don't know why that stands out to me, but I think it was like because one of those followed me around. I just remember it was like a little pet. The animals there are not a threat. So there's no threat from the animals, the wildlife, everything.
Were there any lakes or streams or oceans?
So I don't remember any lakes or streams. I just remember that little area that I came out on. I remember mountains. I remember snow on the mountain. So this hot temperature thing is like, I don't know. So there was snow on the mountains, and where I was nice and balmy. So from there, I went underground. So the underground cities in Venus are unlike anywhere else in the cosmos that I've known. They're actually exquisite. And the people there are beautiful people. The way they have refined themselves through the love vibration translates into their physicality. So it's quite stunning. When you make eye contact with them, it's just like a love vibrational dump that you can't imagine. I was very primitive at the time, still a very hard, angry warrior, but they were able to, train that out of me, like we talked about earlier in other programs.
How long were you there, Mike?
6 months. So during that 6 month time frame, it was enough for me to, overcome my fears. I remember moving from one Venetian city to another. So they have many cities underground, and moving to different ones and learning different techniques for connecting with the love meditations underground. Now you talk about streams, beautiful rivers, unbelievable. It was almost that you could go into a waterfall and you could feel the love from the water. Everything was of a love vibration, plant life, the foods we ate, everything was absolutely exquisite.
Michael, tell me more about the beings there. What do they look like? What were they wearing?
The Venusians are actually taller than we are normally. A small Venusian would be 6 foot, and most of them are 8 to 9 feet, and some even taller. They're perfectly proportioned. The men are, well defined, muscular. I remember they wear a lot of white, a lot of a light blue. It matched a lot of their eyes. A lot of them are blue-eyed, blonde hair, but that's not all. They have redheaded Venusians, little dark complected. Mainly, they're very light skinned, but I saw all the different hair colors and skin colors and so forth. Very stunning.
So, of course, here on planet Earth, we have one of the most massive diversities of human beings on one small rock.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any correlation on Venus?
There's diversity there, but they're all Venusians.
Right.
If you go to different star systems, they're usually that star system. You go to Pleiades, they're Pleiadian.
Right.
You go to Arcturus, they're Arcturian. Same thing with Andromeda, they're Andromedans. Only on Earth, really.
Right.
Very, very rare instance where we have many different beings that have come and settled here.
Right.
It's quite a smorgasbord. It's one of the few places in the galaxy where this has happened, where this diversity of different groups. That's one of the reasons why it's taken us so long, because sometimes we don't always understand. And I'll say just understand.
Yeah.
I won't say work well together, because we do actually, but we're trained not to.
Right.
There's a lot of negative influence for us not to.
That's
So
right.
with the Venusians, programming, absolutely. So the Venusians are all in sync. They all work well together.
Yeah.
That love vibration, I see that in a lot of people here on Earth. If you love yourself, if you're loving to other people, that really reflects. And if you're angry and you're egoic, that kind of reflects out too. So they're on the Venusian environment. Everything translates into beauty. Like I said, even the water has a exquisite vibration.
Didn't he just say that he didn't remember any water? No streams or lakes, but there was mountains and snow. What the heck, man? Oh gosh.
In Florida. And essentially he based this on the fact that even now it's extremely hard to get insurance and coverage for homes in Florida. I live in Florida, and it's super expensive just because the storms have gotten bad, the flooding's gotten bad, the cost of homes is so high. If they had to replace a home, it's incredibly high. Everything's so high, and the risk of flooding and everything is higher. And he said basically we're going to have these like super storms, and that's going to make it so much worse. And then with the flooding, he thinks basically everything from like Fort Myers down, which includes, obviously all of Miami and everything, will be underwater, and those people have to migrate somewhere. And they're not going to migrate to other parts of Florida because Florida is going to have this systemic collapse in the housing industry, the real estate industry, because of the fact that, the homes are uninsurable, and it's not going to make sense to live there anymore. So the people, as their homes get wiped out, they're not going to rebuild, they're going to move. And a lot of times they can't rebuild because the area is going to be literally underwater. This is all according to the data, not me. Don't yell at me. I live in Florida. I'm not like wanting this to happen, but this is what his data shows him. So that's migration one. And it's not just Florida. He talks about California. He talks about the Northeast. I mean, look where New York City is, guys. I mean, you could throw a rock and hit the ocean. You're talking about some of the most concentrated population centers in all of the country are right on the water. So that's not good. So there's going to be a migration inward from the coastal areas.
So I've been holding out talking about this situation about the man that had a non-human entity jumping in the back of his truck whilst he was on the phone to the police, which was this.
That was freaky.
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the back of my truck! Horrendous, yes. So he's just had a face-to-face interview with the Carolina Case Files on YouTube, right? And not gonna lie, hearing his kind of side of the story, his emotion, and the reaction from the dude interviewing him as well, Guys, you got to check this out. Listen to this.
Finally, I get a chance to meet you. I got to tell you, obviously we're not going to share your name or your face. Totally understand that. But after talking with you, clearly your voice is the voice that's on that 911 call. So.
Trip, I was coming up from Florida to visit my family. When I was driving up here to where the incident occurred by the battlefield, I couldn't see the moon, stars, nothing, just barely the road through my headlights. I had just started the curve, and I was about a third of the way through it, and I look over into the ditch on my right because I caught a quick glimpse of something, and as I take a further look, it looks like there's I'd say probably a 30-something-year-old man standing in that ditch wearing what looks like an old Civil War uniform, just covered head to toe in blood. And the uniform was torn as well. That threw me off because I didn't expect to see it at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm calling 911 after I see him to report that because, for all I know, it could have just been a normal guy that was injured and needed emergency help. It looked like what had happened is he hit his head on something.
Okay.
And the blood was just pooling down over his face and torso.
Okay.
And well, as I was calling, everything seemed perfectly normal. Just quick phone call to 911, let them know, hey, there's a guy out here, and try to find somewhere safe to park so that way I can take them to him. Well, as you know from the 911 call, right as soon as I reported that, I already had my window up at that point. All of a sudden, I heard a massive bang on my truck, and my truck bounced down from the rear, like I was pulling a heavy trailer and I hit a pothole.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there going, what the hell was that? Which I'm pretty sure you heard me yell, what the hell? I turned on my bed light, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and all I saw was this white, like snow white face right up against my rear windshield, like it was looking into my truck trying to see what it could see. It had shallow sunken eyes. It had no nose. Just think if you took skin and put it on a human skull and stretched it thin. Couldn't see any ears, just that. And immediately I just started screaming. I didn't realize until afterwards that I had said that's not human on the call, because it was just the first thing I started screaming because I was terrified. I didn't have my firearm with me, nothing. All I had was a wood splitting axe. So that's all I had. Well, I'm doing in between like 55, 60 miles an hour when this happens, and I just stomped on the gas for a second. When I looked at the speedometer before I slammed on my brakes, I was doing maybe 80. And I slammed on those brakes with all my might, and I went from like 80 miles an hour down to like 35 in just like a couple of seconds. And all I see is this super scrawny long body just fly over my truck in a ball rolling. And as I then swerve to the left and get back in the travel lane, and I floor it. And as I'm swerving to the left, I see it stand up, and it is easily taller than that truck.
No way.
I'm 5'10". The truck is about 2 inches taller than I am. And this thing was easily like maybe 7 feet.
Wow.
And as I pass it, I look in my mirror and I see it bolt to the left into the woods, and it looked like I don't even know what the hell, because it looked like somebody took a normal human and stretched them out, starting with the limbs.
Wow.
It like abnormally long legs and arms, and it just took off into the woods, and I just said, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not staying to figure out what this is. And there's a gas station all the way at the corner where the highway intersects. And I pulled into that gas station. I was doing like 90 all the way to that gas station because that was the only place with any light that I saw.
Right.
And I just stopped in that parking lot and waited like 10, 15 minutes for state troopers to show up. Well, next thing I know, the state troopers show up at the gas station, and I'm just staring back at that road to make sure that it's not coming back.
Right.
So I tell them what happened. They proceed to look at my truck, look in the bed of the truck, look on top of the cab, and on top of the cab, clear as day, you can see like it was scratching trying to get into my truck.
Really?
Or when it initially hit, another way to look at it is when it hit the back of the truck and landed in the bed, like it had latched onto the hood for a second and scraped trying to balance itself. And you could see that clear as day. I mean, there was a couple of scratches from like squirrels and tree branches, but those stuck out because it looked like it had landed like this and just ripped backwards. And well, they asked me to take them approximately where it happened. And I mean, when it's the middle of the night and you're going the opposite direction of where you just came, your sense of direction's a little off.
Right.
So I took them back to approximately where I believe it was. I remember pretty much everything just in that one moment. I looked at the truck the next morning. Sure enough, scratch marks are right there on the roof of the truck.
What were the reaction of the law enforcement officers that showed up?
The law enforcement officers, when they showed up, they were skeptical. Although now they might not be as much, but at the time, the troopers especially seemed skeptical. Parks and Wildlife, when they flew the drone, they seemed more curious than anything, and EMS was more like, okay, are you okay? And they went and looked for the other guy and couldn't find him. Want to go back? I don't want to find him.
I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you.
I still refuse to drive through that area at night because I don't know what
Mate, I'm not going to lie. That is horrendous. And fair play to the dude, man.
One of the things I often tell people is do not play with a Ouija board, because Ouija boards are essentially a doorway. And when you open that door, anything can come through. It's almost like sending up this beacon up in the air, and you are inviting everything to come into your life. Now, I heard this story. There was this young boy named Colton, and Colton and his buddies decided they were going to play with a Ouija board one night. And, they had fun. They didn't know how this pendulum was moving by itself, and, it kind of thrilled them and everything, but they didn't think anything of it. So Colton, he takes the Ouija board and he puts it in his closet. Later that night, when he's sleeping, he starts hearing like a banging sound in his closet. And all of a sudden, when he jumps up out of bed, he looks over at his closet and the door slowly opens.
No.
And he gets up and looks in the closet. There's no one in there. So he's like, that's kind of weird, but he kind of shakes it off, right? The next night, when he's in his bedroom once again, right? He's laying down in his bed. He can't sleep. All of a sudden, he hears this banging sound again coming from the closet, and the closet door opens by itself. The next morning, when he wakes up, he finds the Ouija board is sitting on his bed. So he thinks, I am done with this Ouija board. I shouldn't have messed with it. I'm done with this. So he takes it out back and he starts a fire and he starts trying to burn this Ouija board. As he's burning this thing and it's on fire, he hears just disembodied voices. He hears screams, and he thinks, okay, this thing is just ashes now. Everything's fine. Well, it was for a couple weeks, nothing happened. Until one night he wakes up and he said he just felt like the air was very thick. And he had his bedroom door open at the time. Well, all of a sudden his bedroom door slams shut and his bed just starts shaking violently.
And he said, it felt like there was an earthquake. He jumps out of bed and stuff on his shelf just starts flying at him across the room. And so he, is running to the door, trying to get the door open, but something like is holding it shut. He starts screaming, for his parents. And when his parents come, the door unlocks. He opens the door and he tells his parents, what had happened. They don't believe him. So he said, things just kept getting significantly worse. And every night he was just like tormented by something. And he said, about 6-7 months into this happening, right, this thing tormenting him, he goes over to his grandma's house one day. And when he walks into his grandma's house and stuff, he starts talking to her and he looks over on a shelf. She has a Ouija board on the shelf. And he's like, wait a second, that is the Ouija board that I burned in the fire, the box and everything. And he goes, Grandma, where did you get that? Do you know what that is? And she goes, oh, no, honey, someone left a board game on my front door. And so I brought it in, but I couldn't figure out how to play it. And he said, give me that. And he grabbed it and he takes off running with it, right? So he takes it out into the woods. He buries this thing. And he thinks, okay, maybe this is the end of it. And once again, same thing every night, just stuff is happening. Stuff's flying across the room. His bed is shaking, he starts waking up with scratches all over his body. He starts smelling a very foul sulfur smell in his room. And so he goes to a person who is a paranormal investigator and says, what do I do? Like I ever since I've messed with this Ouija board, something has been following me and like attached to me. And this paranormal investigator said, well, basically, you need to go take this Ouija board and, say that I renounce you. I do not accept you into my life. Like I am not inviting you. You need to leave. So he goes back out into the woods where he had buried this Ouija board, except it's dug up and it's not there anymore. And so he said, after that, like it sort of, everything stopped for a little while. It came back, but it was very sporadic. But he said still to this day, like stuff happens to him from messing with the Ouija board. One of the things
we got a situation where we have an aircraft crash that's possibly friendly, and they need us to go and secure the crash site. And we're like, fine. So this is early. This is late at night. I know about 11 or 12 at night, and I was on guard duty that night, so I was already up, and it was my shift. We have 12-hour shifts, 12 on, 12 off, and where we rotate our section. So we all went out that night. We got up, I don't know, 3 or 4 in the morning and headed out in Humvees. We had about 5 or 6 Hummers, and we drove to where we needed to go, and then from there, we had to hump through the bush.
I wonder if this is where the video of helicopters transporting that egg-shaped UFO came from, or if that was newer footage of the same sort of craft.
So we got there, I don't know, 6, 7, just when daylight had just started to get light. And we found the area really easy because there was a huge gash in the land where something had crashed, and it didn't break anything. I don't know if you've ever been to a crash site where you had trees just broken like in half. Everything was burned, and it was like if you had almost cut like a warm butter with a knife. I mean, it was just, it's like something on fire or had or some kind of energy, like a laser almost had like gutted. I mean, it was really strange. And anyway, I was in the front with Sergeant Allen and Sergeant Atkins. We were up front, and we were point basically. And we were like, I don't know, 10, 20 meters ahead of everyone else. We all had maps and radios and compasses. So we knew, so we wouldn't get lost. And basically we were the first ones to see the object. And basically what happened is we didn't go straight up the hill, because basically this thing went up the hill and then off into the side of the ravine or the ridge. This is about a 200-foot ridge, at least. Solid granite. I mean, it's rock. I don't know if it's granite. It was buried in the side of a cliff. But anyway, we didn't go straight up. We went on to the left and walked up to the top of the ridge. And that's when we saw the craft. This is a huge ship, and
You know, I used to be into sci-fi movies when I was a kid, but this is nothing like I'd ever seen. And when I first saw it, you know, I was scared. It scared the heck out of me. You know, I didn't know what to do, and it was just it was really confusing. So we all climbed down, and it was buried for about a 45-degree angle and into the side of the side of the cliff there, the ridge. And I mean, this is a steep cliff. I mean, it's straight up and down, and it was dripping this syrup like syrup viscosity, this liquid. It was everywhere, all down everywhere when we went down there, because there was plants and everything. And it was weird. It was a purplish green color, and it was a greenish purple, and it kind of like fluctuated. Like you couldn't really, when you'd look at it one time, then you look at it again, and it would it's almost like it. I don't know if it was like alive and it was just changing, but every time you looked at it, you saw a different shade of greenish purple. It was strange. There was one light on it that slowly went around, and the machine, I could hear it. I could hear, I guess, because it was still functioning, and it had like a hum to it, like a really bass. Like, say if you unplugged an amp from a guitar, that kind of it was really it was really deep, and it kind of fluctuated, and then finally it just cut off, and everything just seemed to stop except the colors and the shades, and it was still that way. We got a situation.
Looked up and saw a kind of a bat-shaped craft, like a UFO, with a red dome in the front that glowed red, and there were like greenish yellow lights on either wing. There was no tail. It was a flying wing, essentially, what it looked like. And it was just there. And he watched it descend in a falling leaf motion where it stopped about maybe 75 feet above him. So, maybe 20, 25 meters above him.
In case you guys don't know, this is a different case, and that's for the people that are listening and can't see that it's a different video.
And it hovered there, motionless, for a few seconds. And then he said it tilted and just dove into the water. And he gasped. And he just stood there waiting for it to come back out, which it never did. And it's an incredible thing. So he waited 14 years until 1966, when he wrote a long handwritten letter to the organization NICAP, which was quite active at that time. And he just said, look, this just happened to me 14 years ago. This is my experience. I don't really know what you're going to do with this, but I just thought you should know. And the letter just sat there for years. I don't think NICAP did anything with this case, frankly, until Carl Feit found it in the files, and he put it up on his website, which is how I was able to find it. And it's just like these types of cases. I'm sure Eldon White is no longer with us, and his case can't even be classified as forgotten, because I think it was never really known. I don't think anyone really knew about it. So I had my illustrator, Alan Levine. He did a really nice illustration of it, which went into the book. And this is what I mean. I really wanted instances like that not to be lost, because I have no doubt, there's not a doubt in my mind, that the moment Eldon White is looking at that craft as it dives into the ocean had to probably be the most extraordinary moment of his life, bar none. I don't care what else happened. And so I didn't want it to be lost. There's so many cases that are just like that, where you've got one or two people or a group of people experiencing some extraordinary thing. There's one, I think it's going to be in the second volume, from the late 70s near Big Sur, California. A man and a woman are at the coast, like getting kind of late. They're just having fun. And they see this triangular craft. And I'm trying to remember if it came out of the water. I think it did. Oh, no. They see this triangular craft. It's not in the water. They see it low above the water, and it drops two golden orange orbs into the water. That's just crazy. So you're at off the California coast there. A black triangle drops two orange glowing basketballs essentially into the water. And the man was so excited. He runs to the water ahead of his girlfriend, and he's screaming at the triangular craft, "Take me with you." And the craft just takes off like a bat, like just bat out of hell, super fast. And it left this kind of glowing trail. But what I'm curious about is, what were those orange orbs that were dropped into the water? You know, that was a case, I think, that was investigated by MUFON. But again, you know, even though it got a MUFON investigation, it's like, what happens with it? It gets a brief investigation, and then you're done with it. And the world never even knows about it.
Indeed, indeed. You mentioned there your illustrator, Alan Levine. What made you decide to kind of portray these stories via images? And also you've put maps in there as well. Can you just tell us about why you wanted to do that?
Well, mention Alan first. So Alan is someone that I've gotten to know over the last several years. He's a wonderful man. He was an investigator back in the 70s with the organization APRO under James and Coral Lorenzen, and he got to know them very well. He was very close with them. So he knows the field very well. He's a wonderful illustrator. He's worked, that was one of his professions for many years, and I knew he would be good, and he was very, very enthusiastic about the project. So it was a natural fit. I'd been wanting to have these cases illustrated. I was really certain that I wanted that done. My original thought was to have kind of simple but high contrast black and white illustrations. Alan had a much more high level idea, I must say, and he just went all out and made full color, beautiful illustrations, and they're incredible. As far as with the maps, I'm well aware. You know, you could talk to someone about where this or that particular case happened, but it's not obvious that everyone's going to have a clear mental picture of where. Looked up and saw a kind of a bat-shaped craft, like a UFO.
Be honest, who do you call when you are at your lowest?
Nobody. I'm a man. No one cares.
Yo, if I disappear, like, who cares? Nobody cares, man.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Point number 3?
Bed.
I want to cry all the time. My eyes just won't let me.
Are you honestly happy?
Probably not deep down, but just gotta keep going with it, you know? People don't care about you. If you're a little weird or you're a little awkward, people fucking hate you. They don't want to be around you. And they don't care about any of your issues or how you feel whatsoever. I'm like really alone. Like I'm really fucking lonely.
And one day, you're going to look around and you're going to realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you. And that is the loneliest feeling in the world.
Right, so it continues. This is all sounding a little bit too familiar again. Everyone's being stonewalled. No one seems to know what's going on. We've had Danish parliament members being questioned by Danish media, and they're saying we're not being told everything, and the things we do know we can't discuss because it's now considered classified. So there's even stuff that they're not being told about what these things are. So does that sound to you like it's Russian? I don't think so. I think it's very obvious. And that includes, but not limited to, Andrew Tate's comments as well. I understand that it may appear to look like absolute and utter incompetence, but that simply isn't the case. This is beyond their capabilities. And of course, I have no doubt that they probably have a crash retrieval team in there already trying to deal with the situation or bring it or die it down at least. But it's getting a lot of attention at the moment. Have a listen to this. This is from Red Panda Koala. And it's a guy translating what's being said in Danish from a parliament member on what's going on.
So he says no. He doesn't want to reply to that question even. She's saying that she's being asked, what do you know? She says it's classified, and she says the situation is very serious. Yeah, and he says they're not getting any replies as to what they really want to know as politicians. So they don't seem to have the security clearance to be told very much, and the stuff they're being told is still classified. So they're kind of in a bind.
Wow, really concerning stuff. I don't know. I mean, if it was Russia, I feel like they would tell them. No, or maybe not. I guess. I mean, this is one of the situations, like I said too, even with the Matthew Levelsberger thing, where the Tesla bomber, I personally think he didn't kill himself. I think he was murdered. But it's like these. If he says that the Mr. Jones over New Jersey or China, like this could easily quickly spiral into something else, right? So that's why there's all this caution around this situation over there.
Well, I mean, if you're able to tell the Danish public that the Russians are here and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it, then I guess that would be the biggest, incentive for the public to give more to defense and defense spending and more security in Europe. And so, I mean, I think they haven't been told very much.
Yeah, so as you can clearly see, this isn't stacking up, and it's not going to work. They're not going to be able to just shove this under a rug again like they did the last time. There's too much attention on it now. I think people are very quick to check this information that's currently going through X at the moment. And there are some channels that are covering it. Sky News has done their part. CNN have done their part as well. But at the moment, everyone's in disarray in Denmark. They don't know what's going on. They have no clue. And it all looks a little bit too familiar to what happened in New Jersey. We had spokespersons come out and talk about this. We had an FBI representative come out, which I did a video on last year, basically saying that we're getting stonewalled when asking and requesting this information, which resulted in the FBI setting up the equivalent of the X-Files just to find out what these things were in New Jersey. I think there's at least 25 members on the team so far. This is a very small team, and they're working diligently to find out, and probably still are, what is going on with these drones, aka UAP, is what they are. They could be ARVs, we don't know. Lockheed Martin aren't exactly going to put their hand up and go, "It was us, by the way." So that's why it's going over most of these guys' heads. It's well beyond and above their clearances and what they can handle as politicians, because they're probably not used to dealing with this kind of stuff. But again, if it was to be Russian, it doesn't make sense to just make yourself known. And also, as I tell you, as an airline pilot, professional airline pilot, I'm telling you, the light systems that I've seen from these things, and as you've seen from that video, don't make any sense. We don't have aircraft that are licensed to have green lights flashing in an upward motion. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, you have one stable light on the left side, the port side, which is red, one stable green light on the right, and a white light at the back to identify the position of the aircraft for other pilots to see when they're oncoming traffic, when there is oncoming traffic or anything of that nature. So it's not adding up and it's not making sense. And these videos are very interesting. But this is the same thing again. When you get close to these things, no one seems to be able to get a good picture. The phone sees up. You can like smell like the static in the air. That's because they're electrogravitic, probably. So the propulsion systems on these things, allegedly, according to many people, including but not limited to Dylan Borland, who recently just did an interview with on Weaponized with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell. Look, how many more people is it going to take for people to understand that this is happening now? Okay, and just get used to it, because this is going to happen a lot more. And again, there's going to be no answers. So look, let's keep an eye on this. I'll keep doing videos and coverage, because we're not going to see this from mainstream media at all, apart from CNN, and I'm sure News Nation is doing their due diligence as well. But that's it for now. You heard it first from DK, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
We seem to be experiencing a major shift in reality, and dozens of people are coming forward with their stories. You need to listen to these next 3 videos, because they're going to blow your mind. Take a look at it, listen, comment below, tell me what you think. Let us know if you've had your own experience.
I take the same route to work every single day, or every time I work, and I'm like 15 minutes past my house. I'm on the highway. I have an hour drive. I always put it in my map so I can see if there's traffic or cops up ahead, and I'm listening to an audiobook. Like, I'm very aware of my surroundings, and I get to a point in the highway where the 3 lanes turns into 2 lanes, and the car in front of me was going really slow, and I was like annoyed because I was thinking, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to get in front of this car before the lanes turn into 2. I'm going to be stuck behind them. And then there was like a little glint of light, and I looked out my window, and a plane flew in front of the sun. It was very pretty, it was shiny, and I was like, oh wow, the sun looks so cute. I wish I could take a picture, but like I'm driving and my windshield is dirty. Like, I had all these conscious thoughts. And then the lanes just keep being 3 lanes. And I'm like trying to look around the car in front of me to see when it's going to go down to 2 lanes, because I'm like, I'm about to like have to merge. And then it doesn't merge. And there's like trees. And this part where the highway does that, there's no trees in the median. And I'm like, wait, that's weird. And then I look and there's an exit for Short Pump, which is like an exit that I'd already passed 5 miles ago, 5 minutes ago. So I'm like, wait a second, did I like black out and take an exit? Am I going the wrong way? And I look at my maps and it says now my ETA is 6:50 instead of 6:52. So I took 2 minutes off. And I'm like, that's so weird. I just passed Short Pump like 5 minutes ago. Like, what is going on? And then I freaked out thinking like, am I having a stroke? And I started getting really sweaty and my heart started racing. And I'm like, am I having like a medical emergency right now? I couldn't even speak. I was just like looking at the road and I became so disoriented and confused. I was like, I have absolutely no idea where I am right now. And I drive this highway every single day on the way to work. And then I see the sign for the exit, which is like a mile before the lanes become 3. And I was like, I was literally just here. And I look over and there's a plane flying in front of the sun. And the sun looks beautiful. And I thought like, okay, sun still looks really good. There's a plane up there, but I just did all this 5 minutes ago. And I somehow took 2 minutes off. And I know that I didn't exit. Like I didn't. Essentially, I was somewhere. And then I somehow ended up like 5 miles behind and drove through the same thing again. And I don't know if I just drove through like a glitch in the Matrix or like a wormhole or a little timeline hop or what just happened, but it was the most unsettling thing. And it wasn't like I zoned out and didn't realize where I was. Like I was very focused on the road, very focused on the traffic, listening to my audiobook, like very with it. I didn't zone out. I was there. I almost merged and then I never merged. And then all of a sudden I was back and I passed the same thing all over again, except for it was a different car in front of me. And there wasn't traffic. And I didn't get stuck behind any slow cars. And I'm so uncomfortable right now. I literally have goosebumps. I feel nauseous. Somebody explain to me what that was.
Have you all seen the people saying that when they go to record on this app, it's a different version of them that pops up on the screen? Not present day them. Okay, in 2023, I had a woman. I posted one video on my old account, and this woman found me, claiming she was me from the future. And that TikTok is a portal between parallel universes. And she knew things about me that only I would know. We even had the same name. And no, I did not have my name on my account. No. She found me. And I'm telling you, this app is more than just social media. It is. That's why the governments are obsessed with it.
I think I'm living in a simulation. I got this lamp a few days ago. And then I went to pick up my packages today. And there's another one, but that's not where it stops. I ordered a Domino's pizza today and it arrived, and then an hour later it arrived again, and I don't know what to do. I think I'm going crazy.
The world has gone mad. It's gone mad, I say. Well, guys, that is the end of our show tonight. Thank you so much once again for hanging out with me this evening. Well, thank you to all my friends out there, wherever you may be listening beyond the Omniverse tonight. I had a wonderful time, and I can't wait to do it again. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to record some story time because the internet wasn't working last night, and so I didn't get in here to do it. But I'm going to get that done for you guys. Don't forget, you guys, we're all in this together. Together we can make the world a bit better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media. Because without you, there is no us. Please, if you have the means, the ability, or initiative, if you believe in what I'm doing here, or just enjoy hanging out with me on the airwaves, sling or fling some green my way, if you can. It would really help me keep this mothership afloat. Places you can donate are by mail, P.O. Box 663, Bayfield, Colorado 81122, Cash App, $ TessaTNT, PayPal at TessaTNT, and then Venmo at Tessa-TNT. Nighty night, love and light, guys. Take care of my yous, and I will see you back here, same crazy time, same crazy place.